Hello and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for co-op news, reviews, and playthroughs. I'm Peter, and tonight we're playing through Massive Darkness 2, Hellscape. What's up, Steve? And
How's it going, Peter?
I just realized if your name is Terrence, and it is not Terrence. So I am going to change your name to Steve.
Thank you.
I am Steve. That is who I am. Look at that. Real time. Done and done. What's up,
All
Steve?
fixed. No, I'm Terrence now. No, okay. How's it going, Peter?
What's going on, Terrence? We're just confusing everybody right off the start. We're just gonna make a complete debauchery of ourselves. That is what we do when we're together, and that's what makes it fun. All right, so we're going to be playing the first scenario, which is called the Highway to Hellscape. I've only played this game once myself, but I'm pretty sure I have a pretty strong grasp on the rules. As you'll see as we play the game, it's not that complicated. But if you have any questions, please feel free to enter them in the chat. Of course, if I make any rules mistakes, please feel free to correct us there as well. And if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and let us know. So, Ryan says, howdy, howdy. Yes, so you've not played. So that's why I called this a first play and impressions video. So you can give your first impressions, and I will give my second impressions, maybe. Although I will say I haven't even finished the game. We played part of a game last night, and then my computer crashed. So hopefully that doesn't happen again tonight, because that would not be good. All right, so this is called Highway to Hellscape. I'll give you a little bit of a read here. The proliferation of portals around Krondar suggests some sort of horrific sacrifice has been made. There's nothing we can do about that, but we might as well take advantage of the situation. Something around here could lead to the infernal realm, where we can take the battle to them this time, mad as it may seem. So this is Massive Darkness 2. Basically, apparently we're going to go into hell and try to take the battle of them. We are what are called, what is it, Lightbringers? Do you know a little bit about the story here? Oh. Well, there we go. All right, so give me 1 second, everybody. Actually, I'm going to go to the we'll be right back screen. I promise we will be back in less than 1 minute, and I will fix Steve's sound. All right, everybody, I am back, but give me 1 second to try to get Steve going. All right, Steve, say something.
Say something.
Oh my gosh, I think you just blew to red right there. All right, I'm going to lower your volume. That just blew out the speaker. I apologize, everybody, if that destroyed your eardrums. Hopefully you weren't wearing a headset at the time. But let us know if Steve's audio is back, please, and we will hopefully be good for the rest of the stream.
Matt solved the problem. He says the stream is rejecting me because I'm not Terrence. So that's got to be the right answer.
Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Matt. I agree. The stream rejects a lot of people. I don't know what's going on. I got this new computer. We literally worked for at least 30 minutes yesterday trying to fix the problem. We thought we had it. And I'm using a hack right here, but it might mean that Steve's lips and his voice don't come out at the same time, and I apologize for that. As long as so Ryan says much better on the audio. All right, cool. Well, let's keep going with the story. So we are, I think what we're called is light bringers, but what it really means is we're bringing light to the darkness, and you'll see this game is a lot about light and darkness. If you look on the board here, there are different spaces, and the yellow spaces are in light, and the black spaces are in darkness. And believe it or not, as Lightbringers, we actually like the darkness, and we do better. We fight better in the darkness. So I guess that's why we are tasked with bringing justice to these evil monsters, is because we actually we do well in the darkness. Down here, these red spaces again in the light, these darker spaces are darkness. So the objective here of this mission, so it is a dungeon crawl, and it is mission-based, although there is an order to them, I think, as far as the story goes, but it's not campaign-based. You're not carrying things over from mission to mission or whatever else. but it is a pretty straightforward game. You'll see as we go along, and there's a lot of dice rolling in the game. So hopefully, you all like dice rolling and dungeon crawling, because that is exactly what this one is. I think it is one of the epitomes of the genre. But in a different way than you might think, because you're actually rolling a lot of enemy dice, even on your turn, which is something that, last night, Mike and Jerry definitely took a minute to get used to. They are definitely dangerous even on your turn. So I am going to be Baldric the Barbarian, and Steve is going to be Gaeta. I think that's right. Like Scott Gaeta, the who's the head of Renegade Studios, if people don't know. Gaeta the Mage. And we're going to be going along. So one thing I didn't do is set your starting values, but let's look at your character, Baldric, real quick here, Steve. So you're going to start with 5 mana. So go ahead and here's your mana counter up here. Take that up to 5. And you have 4 health, like any good mage should have. Me as a barbarian, on the other hand, start with 7 health and 2 mana. Again, as any good barbarian should have. Let's do a little bit of equipping ourselves before we get too far into this. So go ahead and grab a battered leather armor. We both get one of those and put it in your armor spot, which is right under your character sheet. Then we are going to pick a potion. You got mana potions and health potions over here. Just as a reminder, or just to let you know. Oh, actually, yes, you don't have an ability to get mana. Just lying. So there's no space really on the board for those, but they can go anywhere you want, off to the side of the board. And mana potions are something you can use at any time, or health potions too, not just on your turn. So you will always be able to use potions. So we get 1 potion, then we get 1 set of gear. I put all the staffs over here. Now, just as a reminder, or just to point out for your character, you can equip 2-handed magical items as if they were only 1-handed. The benefit of that is if you have 2 weapons that both have the same attack type, and if you look here, that's like a magical attack type, then you can roll dice for both of those. Now, it looks like all these weapons here, all these magic weapons, 2 of them are 2-handed. They all only roll 1 yellow dice. That's going to be your attack value for these, but they all do something different. So on this one, when you attack, you're going to get a mana back, no matter what. This one, when you attack, you heal yourself 1 with this item over here. This one, when you attack, you spend a mana to do +1 damage. So, actually, even though that's only 1-handed, that's pretty good too. All right. So I played a little bit with the Barbarian last night, and I've decided that I never use... I don't have any mana, so I originally took this 2-handed axe here, which seemed pretty cool at the time because it rolls orange dice, which are the better dice. But the one thing I quickly realized is that I have nothing to use mana in any of my skills, so I'm going to go ahead and use the dagger instead, which reduces their defense. So I'm going to be the stabby barbarian. But these starting items might not last long anyway, because this is a game similar to the video game Diablo, where you're going to be just getting tons and tons of gear as you go around. You'll be getting lots of stuff. So if that's the kind of stuff you like in a game, be prepared for lots of that here. Oh, we got lots of comments. Did you want to look at the chat and see if there's anything stands out to you?
Yeah, there's some people talking about they want to see the asymmetry in the heroes come out. People are commenting they don't like rolling for enemies. Some fun jokes too about the mage proceeds to die from 1d4 insult damage, which seems about right.
Nice.
You call that a knife? That's not a knife.
Yes. Well, just don't insult the berserker. It's like don't hurt the Wookiee, or what is it?
Yeah, don't hurt the Wookiee.
Don't beat the Wookiee. Yeah. Don't mess with the barbarian, and you'll be just fine, Steve. You will be just fine. All right, we're going to go over our objectives here in a minute, but really quickly, I'm going to go over what we're doing, and I'm going to just take the first turn, Steve, because I think that is by far the easiest way to learn how to play this game, and then you'll just kind of see what I do, and you'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly. So the first thing we're going to do is the hero phase. And again, we have an objective we're trying to complete here. I'm going to go over the special rules for the scenario in a minute. But just know, we are trying to get down to these spots down here, which have these objective markers on them. we have to spend an action to get rid of them when there's no monsters on those spaces. Once both of those are gone, this door is going to open, and we have to get to this objective here and spend an action to move out of here. And that's it. So basically, we can't go past this door until we've collected these 2 gate things over here. So that is our objective. So the way the game round goes is there's a hero phase where we are going to each take 3 actions. So we're both going to do all of our actions. Then the enemy phase is going to happen. Every enemy on the board is going to activate. Then we are going to level up. You must level up if you have enough experience. So we'll talk a minute about leveling up, because we're not going to have to worry about that right now. But as we get experience, so this is how you're going to track your experience on this little tracker here. When you get to 5 experience, you have to spend it. So if you were at 6 experience as an example, you'd spend 5 of that, go down to 1, and you will level up. You will not only gain 1 mana point for this first level, we will also put better gear in the loot bag. So right now the loot bag or treasure bag has 10 basic loots, like common items, and 5 rare loots in it. This is going to add another rare in, and then as we get up, we're going to even add I forget what they're called, that's why I'm coming over here. So we got common, rare, and epic treasure. So we're going to add epic treasures in there as well. So that means anytime there's a loot token on the board over here, or when you spawn monsters, you'll see in a second, they're going to randomly pull some loot out. And actually, let me make sure, because we'll do order, random, not last in, first out. All right. So
you have a question.
Yes.
He says, Dan says, what else do you spend experience on?
Literally nothing. As far as I know, from what I have played with these characters today, there's nothing else you're going to spend experience on. It's literally just to level you up. Okay. And the monsters will level up with us. So we're going to start at level 1 to 2 monsters. So it's similar to Zombicide, if you've seen that, where the highest level monster, or the highest level hero, is going to determine the monster's level. So we want to level up together, although it's way easy to do that in this game because you do split a lot of experience, unlike something like Zombicide. But so the monsters are going to level up as we are leveling up as well. So again, you have player phase, then the enemy phase, then we level up, then we do the darkness phase, which basically means we move the time tracker up here. And if there's something above our current space, we might spawn wandering monsters. We might put more loot in the bag. We might spawn regular monsters, more loot in the bag, right? So as time goes on, stuff's going to happen. And we're not limited to 9 rounds. After those 9 rounds, then we go into this like small loop over here where no more good stuff comes in, just the bad stuff. So, yeah. So, but the way we lose is we die, basically. So we do have a Lifebringer token here, which when we die the first time, we will flip over and you will come back to life with 3 life. But if we die a second time and you have to spawn at the beginning of your turn and there is no Lifebringer token, you lose it. Now this one doesn't have it on it, but the way they've changed the rules are once you use a Lifebringer token, it has a reroll of enemy dice on the back. So we do get a little bit of a benefit when we do die the first time. Still not worth the dying though. like let's not go to Leroy Jenkins here, although I may do that on turn 1, but that's okay. So again, we'll talk a little bit about this mission specifically, and then we'll talk about the player turn. So this mission, again, we have to open the gates of hell and enter hell. So, and that's basically it. So we've got to go down to these objective tokens over here, if it's easier to see on this map, and then end up over here and use an action to get out. We'll read specifically what happens as we get there. But there's
an interesting comment that popped up. Hugo said, in the first Mass of Darkness, you were able to spend experience to utilize special skills. So,
interesting. They do.
I'm sure they took it out, or maybe it's in later missions. Who knows?
Maybe it's in later missions. Maybe it's in higher level skills. We only got to the level 2 skills yesterday. We didn't get to level 3, so I don't know. And let's talk about that right now. So every character works a little bit differently. The way the wizard's going to work is you have this spell wheel up here, and you're going to rotate it always clockwise. There are 2 ways of rotating, and it actually says at the bottom of the wheel itself. Either after you cast any spell, you're going to move it to the next space, or after you spend a mana, or you could spend a mana to like rotate it. 1 for each space it moves. All of these actions kind of happen when you're doing something, except for the heal action over here. So this one, you get a reroll. If you spend 1 mana during combat, you can get a reroll for combat. This one,
I'm gonna rotate this. Driving me nuts. Hold on. How do I rotate this?
the problem is it always rotates back to 45 degrees. So
If I lock it,
oh yes, if you lock the bottom.
There we
All
go.
right, so let me do that.
I got it. Sweet.
You have to change it to 45 degrees. Oop, you locked it at. Oops. Here we go.
Do you see something different on your end?
Did you want it at 90 degrees like this?
I was just making so people can read it, so it's good.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Never mind.
No worries, no worries.
Never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's I didn't even realize that there was a way that it was up and down. Yes. So you were gonna get yeah. You're gonna get a level 1 skill to start, and it is gonna take the place of one of these things. Now the interesting thing is this +1 damage is only during an attack, you see, and this says during combat. So that means that reroll could be when you're getting attacked as well. You can use that mana. The healing is just at any point you have 2 mana. You can use it to heal somebody on your space for 3. So yeah. So
Do I need to cover one of these up right now?
Yep. And for yours, I think they can cover any of the spots. Yep. And just hit lock. Now, you'll see they have 1s at the top. Later on, they might end up being a 2, in which case you can replace it. So you've leveled that 1 skill up, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get these. When you level up, you're not only going to get hit points, you're going to get a new skill. You can either get a level 1 skill after you level up the first time, or a level 2 skill, which you have 2 of, to add to your like pool of options. So, so let's see what you picked.
Cool.
So attack for so what'd you cover up first of all? You covered up your movement one? You're like, forget it, no movement.
Oh yeah,
That's your choice. Let me
sure, we'll cover the attack. It doesn't make sense not to. Let's see, I can rotate this while I can change my thing. There we go.
All right, so for 2 mana now, you get +2, and the defender takes a fire damage. And fire damage means before they activate, they roll a dice and just take damage. They don't get to block it, nothing.
Sweet.
So, and for every fire token they have. So the more fire tokens they have, the more that they are going to have to deal with. And that costs 2 mana when you're... So you can turn this dial whichever way you want to start the game as well. You're going to start on that attack, or you're going to start on the move.
Sure, we'll do move.
So just so you know also, for magical attacks, they can attack their zone, and that's what they call spaces on the board, right? These spaces are all called zones. You can attack your zone, or you can attack an adjacent zone. Now, when you attack, you do want to be in darkness, because you get a benefit for being in darkness, and we'll talk about that when we do the attack action. But, yeah, so just as a heads up, you want to be in darkness when you attack, but you could attack, like, these monsters here that are going to spawn when we go in this room. You could attack them from here, for example, adjacent.
Mm.
Now, we do not have to go in this room either. We could just run over these spike traps over here and deal with that. But I think it's more fun to see combat, and there's a chest in here. So
Loot.
Yep, so looting. So there's that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how monsters spawn, and then I'll go over what our actions are, just because I'm going to spawn some monsters at the beginning. So we do have 2 starting mobs on the thing, and mobs are like the weaker monsters, and then there's roaming monsters as well. So whenever you spawn a mob, what you're going to do, we're going to just click a button on the app, but what you're going to do is you're going to take an item and put it down. That is going to be what we loot from them, and then you're going to put a mob card on top of it.
Mm.
And so the mob or the item determines how they attack. So they're going to attack at melee for 1 yellow dice, or at ranged for 1 yellow dice. By the way, ranged normally means they can't attack their space. Melee is only in their zone. And then they have a special power, and defense is all determined by the monster themselves, and the life and all that is determined by the monster. So that is how you're going to spawn mobs, just so you know. And we talked about this a little in the pregame, but they are also going to spawn with minions that go with them, and that's basically how many times you're going to have to defeat them. You got to defeat the minions before you can defeat the boss, although you could do it all in one attack. Like for that last monster that had 2 life per, if there were 3 minions on the space, that means it basically has 6 life. If you do 6 damage, you kill all of them.
Cool.
All right, so let's go ahead and spawn our first set of minions. Now when you spawn a minion, you'll see up in the left it has a little loot icon up there. So it pulled a random loot from the bag. It happens to be a common item, so when we defeat them, we get to get a common item. And then again, I'll go over all about this mob as we are defeating them dead. All right, so we got this mob over here. There's 1 leader and 2... Let's take this starting mob space out. And all this is described in setup in the rulebook here. Now I'm going to take out 2 of these spawning zones. 1 over here is for 5 or more players, and 1 up here is for 3 or more players. We don't have that, so we just have 1 spawning zone off to the side here. So you'll see they have these spawning portals here. I'm just going to get rid of those, but I just wanted to point out that's what that nomenclature is for. And this is our starting zone. We don't need to know that anymore because we are in it. And then this one is the roaming monster portal, which means that's where roaming monsters are going to spawn, but regular mobs are going to spawn there as well when the mob spawn phase happens. There's 1 more monster that starts on, or mob that starts on the board. That's down here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And oops, don't forget our loot when we kill them. And I'm going to spawn that set of monsters as well. So these come down here, and we'll talk about how they activate and all that as we get to their turns and what these little minions are for. Ooh! They have a rare loot. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have to pick my starting skill. I guess I should have done that. So I have choices. Mine are a little more specific. So you'll notice this skill is called Blood Rage here, and I have a specific Blood Rage skill that goes along with it. Now mine doesn't replace. It's another option. When I have this like marker, I'm gonna move this around. When I have this marker here, if I'm on Blood Rage, then I can do that. If I do charge, I can do both of these things. And I'm going to have to spend... So as I lose life, it comes to this, like, rage meter. And then I can spend it to, like, get extra bonuses. So, like, when I attack, I could spend one of these to reroll innately. If I add Blood Rage, I can also spend another one to add a yellow dice to my attack to make my attacks more deadly. This one lets me charge, basically move 1 or 2 zones when I take an attack action. So I can move first and then do my attack. And Provoke lets me, after combat, if you took at least 1 wound, I could deal 2 wounds to them. That's any combat. Again, that's attack or defense. You'll see you'll be taking damage both times. And then the regular one is deal 1 wound to the attacker. So you could do both of them to deal 3 wounds to the attacker. This one, the top one, doesn't even need you. It just needs you to be defending. But I'm not going to take payback. I'm not going to take charge. I'm going to go with my Fatal Fury. And I'll put that under my board because I do, again, get to do both options. And I am going to start in my Blood Rage form. Alrighty. So, what do we get to do on our turn? We literally have 5 options, and that is it. The move is the most complicated of the options, believe it or not. So for moving, you get 2 movement points for each move action you take. You can move to an adjacent zone. You can open a door for one of those movement points. And you can interact with an object in your zone. So that's how you're going to loot stuff on the ground. Now, if you kill a monster, you auto-loot, right? But if you want to search a chest, whatever else, that's an interact. That is part of your movement action. So when we're, like, flipping these tokens or whatever over here, flipping the switches, that's part of your movement action. So it takes 1 of your movement points to do that. That makes sense?
Yep.
So you can attack. Melee range is 0. Magic range is 0 to 1. Ranged is 1 plus, as long as you have line of sight, which is orthogonal. Same with movement. Trading equipment is another action. So you can either rearrange your own equipment or trade with other people. Now, when you loot, you can add the item you just looted to yourself or anybody on your space. You can give it to them, and they can equip it immediately. But beside that, if you change your mind later, you will have to take a full trade equip action for everybody on your space to be able to trade and move their equipment around however they want. Make sense?
Does.
Recover. gain up to 2 health or mana in any combination, and then special actions. Like if it says action, then that's what it is.
Simple.
So it's literally move, attack, trade, recover, or special actions. That's what we'll be doing. And then on our turn, we get 3 actions each. So ready to kill some stuff?
Let's do it.
All right. So I see. And then movement. You'll see these like black lines around these. These make rooms or whatever. So if there's no door there, you can't go in that area. Now both of these have doors, but these doors, there's nothing in this room right here, and they don't really lead to anywhere except right onto the spike trap. So I don't know why you'd go through this room. Now opening the door sometimes leads to good things, but often leads to not good things because you do draw a door card, which are over here, every time you open a door.
Okay.
And all of it will make a lot more sense as we're playing. Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first thing is take a move action. I'm going to move 1 and then open the door for my second action. So now that the door is open, we spawn the room. First thing we do is draw a door card. This one says Hell's Army. That doesn't seem good. Spawn 1 mob on each portal. Place 1 additional treasure token from the treasure bag on each mob spawned this way. Remove all spawn tokens from this chamber, if any. All right, so we are not spawning an enemy here anymore. That group, that mob just went away, but Hell's Army's coming in, which is just another mob. I mean, it's just fancy theme. So these dudes are coming in over here at the spawn point. Now, if we were playing a 3-player game, like we were last night, group would have spawned right on top of you, right there, right now. Right? Because that was the 3+ player spawn point, if you'll notice over here. And if we were playing 5 and 6 players, which I probably wouldn't recommend first time you play, 3 was just about right last night. I think 1 and 2 is going to be pretty good also. All right, so that was 1 move action.
But don't we need to place an additional treasure token on that guy?
Good call. And then we need to place these dudes on their spawn point, which is this bridge here. So you can go on the bridge. It's considered in darkness. And yes, they're on the bridge. So we'll grab an additional loot token. So they are double common items. Yay.
Oh.
All right, so that was 1 action. I'm going to take my second action. I'm going to move 1 space, and I'm going to loot the regular chest.
Yes.
There is I saw a button. All right, yeah, draw chest. So this is a regular chest, and this is a big chest. You can draw a regular chest card. Ooh, 2 rare loot. That seems good. All right, so we come up here to the rare treasure, and we get 2 of them. By we, I mean you're not here. Oh, and it's a ring of plus attack. So for my attack, I can spend a mana to get yellow dice. And defense, I could spend 2 mana. Oh, no, I just get 2 mana back every time I defend. And it's 2 blue dice rather than the 1 blue dice you start with. So when we talk about good starts to a game, that seems real good. So I got my ring over here. And then who needs this basic armor? Now, you put this in your backpack, quote-unquote backpack. So you can change it out at any point later on if you want. But literally, the basic armor is just 1 blue dice. This is 2 blue dice, and you get 2 mana every time you defend. Which seems good for you, honestly. I'd like to give it to you at some point when we can trade, but that time won't be now. All right.
I mean, you can use it with your dagger, though, too, so it's not like wasted. So, yeah.
Yes. So, and I can use it with these new gauntlets. Don't forget. For 1 mana, I get +1 yellow dice to my attack. I might give you those as well. Just because you're going to have a lot more mana than me. Although you have more stuff to spend it on. I literally have nothing to spend it on except for my dagger and now these gauntlets. Okay, so that was 2 actions. Again, first move, open the door. Second move, loot the chest. Real complicated, right? Third action, I'm going to move and I'm going to open this door. Now, when I open this door, I do not trigger a spawn again, or a door token again. That's only when you're opening a chamber for the first time. So that was the first time going in this chamber. That make sense?
Yep.
All right. And that was literally my entire turn. I did all that stuff. So
you have a question that popped up just now. It says, did you get a chance to play Dungeon Saga Origins?
I did not play Dungeon Saga Origins. Have you?
I have not. So that was from Zimbo. So unfortunately, neither of us have played that.
If anybody in the chat has, though, talk about it. Or Zimbo, please tell us your thoughts on that one and whether you liked it or not.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm guessing it has some relation to this game.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so now it's my turn. Since there's no reason to walk across spikes,
I mean, you can.
I'll run through. So if I go 1, 2, first movement.
Yep. Now let's look at these guys' attack.
They would activate first?
Well, let's look at their attack. So they are going to attack with 1 yellow, and they do attack at ranged. So they're going to take 2 activations. An activation is moving 1 zone or attacking. So they would move this zone, and they would attack you here if you were there. Now, you do have something that gives you extra move, I think, right? And did you start on that? You did.
I did.
So you could potentially move here and attack them before they get to go. Which is up to you.
Would you recommend it?
I mean, I'm a barbarian. Absolutely, I recommend Leroy Jenkinsing your butt up there and trying to kill some stuff.
Okay, sure. We'll see what happens. So 1, 2.
Yep.
1, 2, and I've got 1 action left, but I guess I could spend a magic if I understand this.
Yep. You spend 1 magic to
trigger a
cast this spell,
move
because that's where you're at. Yep. And then you rotate it clockwise.
Rotate any direction I want. Ooh, so I can rotate
No.
this direction.
Only clockwise.
Only clockwise.
Only clockwise. Yep.
Gotcha. And so then that gives me the move here.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll just lay down. There we go.
And now you can attack them if you want.
Now I can do my last action
cool
attack.
Magic spell as well.
Yeah. So I spend 2 magic for that.
Yep.
Another 2. And I attack at +2. So how does this work?
All right. So here's how combat works. First thing you're going to do is look at your weapon. See what dice you roll. So you roll 1 yellow dice. So go ahead and add 1 yellow dice. The maximum number of yellow or orange dice you could ever roll is 3. Now you could roll 3 yellow and 3 orange if you have enough. I don't know how that would happen, but maybe later on. Now we look to see if you are in darkness. And thankfully you are in darkness. So you get this cool darkness die here. So go ahead and click on that one. Now you can always, by the way, right click on it to remove it. Just as a heads up.
Okay.
All right. So you now roll that dice. As you can see, swords are always hits. It has lots of swords on it. It also has magic icons on it, so that'll get you magic back. That's the and then it might have this face on it, which triggers your special shadow ability here. So that's the real benefit. That's only on 1 of 6 sides, so it's not likely to happen. But when it does cool stuff. All right. So now we're going to look at the enemy. You are attacking the gargoyles over here. They each have 2 life, and they each have 1 blue die defense. So go ahead and add a blue die to the pool. All right, and then they have 1 leader here, the gargoyles, and 2 minions. The minions are always spawned equal to the number of players, right? So these 2 minions you have to kill before you can kill the leader. You don't loot and get this and this until you kill the leader. But so the minions, the other thing they do is give them black dice as part of the attack and their defense. So you have to add 2 black dice, which could cause some damage to you. So go ahead and
grab those 2 black dice here.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're going to do that. And by the way, you could have taken 3 actions to attack. Of course, nothing was in line of sight. But like next turn, if they're just on top of you, you could just attack 3 times. As you kill the minions, they're going to get less black die. So the black die only have 2 different types of symbols on them. They have these little hand thingies here, which trigger their special ability. So if you look on the mob itself, it says defense +1 shield. So gargoyles get extra ways to defend themselves. So it's could potentially be hard for you to hit them. Although again, you're in darkness, you're rolling the yellow die, and you used your magic spell to give you +2 swords in addition. And they're going to be set on fire, in which case they don't get any defense. You just roll yellow dice and swords do damage. So yeah. Yep. So you did that. And so yeah, you just roll these dice and let's see what it comes out as. All right. So the black dice are bad. This is really good, potentially. And you got a mana. So you can resolve these in any order you want.
Okay.
You have to, so you don't have rerolls. Later weapons will give you rerolls, but yours does not, right? So First thing you can do, though, you did an attack, so you get +1 mana. So go ahead and give yourself a mana back.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and resolve their counterattack. So those slashies are damage you take. So go ahead and take 1 damage. It's unavoidable. And we just looked, and these little hands give them +1 defense, right?
They have 3 defense.
So they got 3 defense right now. Now you spent 2 mana for this, so that gives you +2 attack. So right now you have 2 attack plus a sword is 3. So you've done exactly 3 damage to them. Let's go ahead and get this mana back, because you never got that. That's 4.
Okay.
But you triggered your shadow effect. Let's see what that is. Spend any amount of magic. Deal 1 wound for each magic spent that way. Now, wounds are different than swords. So actually, you didn't have to spend this mana ahead of time if you didn't want to. So let's... you could have had all 5 of your mana right here. But let's... because you could trigger it at any point. Right?
Okay.
But it's fine, because you're still going to do the flame to him. So you could spend up to 4 magic to do 4 wounds. That ignores their armor. Now, they're going to block all 3 of your swords, unfortunately. But you could do 4 damage to them right now, which would remove both minions, because they all have 2 life. So, yep.
They're out of here. Let's do it.
You spend all your mana. So, again, if you look on the gargoyles themselves, each minion has 2 life. So, you just defeated 2 of the minions for the gargoyles. Seems pretty good. So
I'm pretty happy with that.
Now they do retaliate no matter how far away they are. That is just one of the rules. So those slashes always count. The good news is when they attack you in 2 seconds, because we are done with all of our actions, they would have normally rolled black dice for each minion as well. Well, there are no minions now, so they are not going to roll black dice anymore when they are attacking you. All right. So that is the end of your turn. You can use your mana potion if you want. The only time you can't use it is basically like mid-attack, so you couldn't have added 2 more to kill the last guy, right?
Yeah, you could have done it. I do have to rotate this, though, don't I?
You do have to rotate it after each use. So you have the ability to heal 2, and that is an action to heal 2. Or what is it, heal 3 for 2? Yeah. All right, so that is our actions. That is literally an entire round of the game, and then the next thing we do is activate the enemies. They don't really.
I'm gonna pause you real quick, hey Peter. There's a quick comment.
Yep.
Zimbo says Massive Darkness Hellscape has been getting great reviews, and some people think it's one of the best dungeon crawlers ever made. Do you both agree?
Well, Steve's played 1 round, and you've seen it.
I played 1 round. Let's see at the end of this video. We'll talk about more at the end. So just
I have
pocket that question for later.
Yes, and I have played a half of a game of it last night with 2 people who were pretty negative. So I will tell you, not everybody thinks that way, because the people I was playing with last night were pretty negative on their feelings on the game. And I will go over some of their opinions when I share my own later on in the video. But yeah, that's why it's a first impressions video, because none of us have even played a full game of it yet at this point. I did play the tutorial mission, but I don't count that. Like, that is really fast. You think this is fast? It's like go in one room, flip a switch, go in another room, you're done. There was 1 mob in the entire fight.
Oh wow!
So we were already almost been done the tutorial. That's why I did not play that with you guys in this demo. All right, so we're gonna show activating mobs. I'm gonna do the far away ones first. Now, normally mobs can't go through open doors, but this gate right here specifically says under special rules, the gate, the door with the white outline, so if you look on the map, the white outline down here, allows creatures from the darkness to pass. Enemies can freely move through this door. Unfortunately for the Lightbringers, you can't open it by conventional means. In order to open the gate, heroes must activate both switches to the gate block, and the gate blocks line of sight. So normally they wouldn't be able to go through doors, but they will be able to go through this one, and they basically just treat it as if it is, passable terrain. All right. So we're going to show you how mobs activate. They always activate the same. They do 2 activations. Anybody in line of sight? Nope. They don't. They move. Anybody in line of sight and they can attack? Nope. They move. That is literally a mob activation. Why don't you activate this one, Steve? And they can all fit in the same space. Unlimited number of stuff can fit in any space.
I know. Can't see anybody move.
Right. Exactly. Yep. So that is literally how mobs activate. Now, this one can see you and attack, right? So they have a ranged attack. They roll 1 yellow dice. So let's go ahead and build their pool. They get 2 activations, so they're going to attack you twice. So
And I have 1 blue, so I'm guessing it's a yellow and a blue.
Well, yep. So let's clean up everything first. So hit the cleanup.
Oh, I have to clean up each time.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hit
Okay,
yellow, blue, and that's it. Literally, if there were any number of monsters there or minions, then you would have added black dice equal to the number of minions, just like for your attack. And that's it. So go ahead and roll that. See if they do any damage. They attack for 1. You block for 1. Done. Go ahead and do it again. Like literally. You probably have to pick it up and roll it or clean it up and add more.
Oh.
Boom, boom, boom. All right. And they don't get mana. They did 1. You block for 2. Nothing. Done.
Sweet.
So that was that mob activating. Done. All right. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
How about you do the killing blow? You feel like you're the barbarian, right?
I almost forgot one of the most important things here. Oh my gosh. Experience. So here's how experience works for mobs. All right. So each enemy miniature you defeat, including the leader, you get 1 experience. So you defeated 2 miniatures. Oh. We also forgot, before he even attacked you, he was on fire. We forgot to add that fire token. But as you remember, as part of your spell, he got on fire. So roll 1 yellow dice to see how much damage they take, because he might be dead before he even got to activate. Nope, just 1 damage. But it is automatic, no blocking, no nothing. So where are the damage tokens? They're over here. And then the fire goes away. So if he had 2 fire tokens on him, he would roll 2 yellow dice, taking all the damage. That would have been the end of it.
That's this guy up here, though, right?
You are correct. So you get 1 experience for every miniature you defeat. You get 2 experience if that miniature was the mob leader. Everybody gets that. I'm sorry. Everybody gets 2 experience if it was the mob leader.
I like that.
So after you beat this leader, you will get 3 experience. Right? You'll get 1 for defeating the miniature, 2 for defeating the leader. Everybody gets 2. I'll get 2, you get 3. Roaming monster. When we defeat a roaming monster, all of us get 4 experience. Yeah.
So right now I'm gonna get 2 experience.
You get 2 experience because you killed 2. So go ahead and move that. Oh, I had already moved you up 1. Look at that. I'm trying to cheat already. And I'm at 0. Okay, good. All right, so you got your 2 experience for defeating the 2 mobs. All the enemies activated. We're good there. And now, so we go level up. Nobody has enough experience to level up. So then we go darkness phase. We just move the time tracker. Next turn, one of those roaming mobs is going to spawn. And it's going to spawn down here in the roaming. All right. And
the most good question is, what do y'all think of Sword and Sorcery? I'll probably talk about it later. But that's one of my dungeon crawls I really like. So
we did a comparison podcast years ago of what you thought of Sword and Sorcery versus me, and we compared it to Gloomhaven at the time. So if you go back and listen to One Stop Co-op Shop podcast, we have a whole hour-long podcast comparing Sword and Sorcery to Gloomhaven. We'll do a little bit of comparison here, but I have not played Sword and Sorcery in a long time. I know it's one of your favorites. I was not as high on it. I was fighting on the side of Gloomhaven. Clearly, history is spoken. That's all I'm going to say about that. I think I'm going to come and open this door. I know it's kind of dumb, but I'm our tank, right? I mean, I'm designed to take damage.
There's loot there. You got to do it.
Yeah, I'll be the Jerry. Why not? All right, so my first action, move for 2. Second action, move for, it's going to be 2 again. So first one is open the door. Got to resolve this first. So door card. The active hero and all mobs spawned in this chamber take 1 fire. Well, alrighty then. This barbarian's on fire. And just as a reminder, this happens at the beginning of my turn. I roll 1 yellow dice and take that much damage. So we are going to spawn a boss, but we are also going to spawn a loot. So let's go ahead and get the loot first out of the loot treasure chest. Ooh, it's a rare loot in here because I only go after rare loot, apparently. I'm a rare loot finder. And then we just do a normal enemy mob spawn in here as well. We will spawn a mob. Thank you, sir. And didn't they get an extra or something?
They got fire, though, right? Nothing else, right?
Oh, just fire. That is an extra something. That mob is on fire. All right. So I have one more move. So I'm going to move here. And then I guess I'm going to take my last move. Guess what I'm doing?
Loot, loot.
I'm opening the treasure chest because I can only move 2. I could move 3 if I had been hurt this entire game, which I have not been hurt yet. I could move 3 by spending some of my like rage that I built up, but I can't move 3 because I have not been hurt yet. So I'm Leroy Jenkinsing. I'm getting a chest here. So let's go ahead and spawn a chest. Oh, double rare again. Boom, boom, boom. I think it's always double,
Wow.
so it's either rare or common. I've got extremely lucky so far. Oh, look. I got leggings. Oh, and more armor. So I definitely have armor for you. All right, so let's...
Cancel the mob's ability for this combat. That's cool.
Man, I almost... Oh, so if I use this combo of armor, I can cancel their ability, and then I get 2 back on my defense.
That's pretty nice.
So for now, I do have this extra piece of armor just sitting here. We can use extra equipment over here in the forge to get rid of 3 pieces of equipment and forge a new one. But it's based on your lowest piece of gear and starting gear. The next highest up is common, so...
Oh, okay.
You'd want to get rid of like 3 rares to get 1 epic, right? Like that would be ideal,
Yeah.
or whatever. All right, so that's one move, and I got rid of this chest here. And I'm just going in. We're doing it. Because they have ranged anyway, so they're going to hit me. What is their special ability? Combat those things. Attacking or defending hero discards a mana. Wow. I can just ignore that. By spending 2 mana, which is all I have. Which seems not worth it, but I'm going to do it anyway because I got this armor. Or do I switch armor? I think I just switch
I mean,
armor.
you get back anyway, right?
Well, no, if I switch... Oh, yeah, if I...
No, I mean, like, if you discard if you ignore the ability, you get it back regardless.
Yes, exactly. I'm not too worried.
So.
All right, so that was... All I did was 6 moves. Again. Go ahead, Steve. Be the hero we all know you are.
Okay. I will attack this gargoyle leader.
Yep.
So, if I understand this correctly, I got to do a yellow.
Yep.
They have a single blue.
Yep.
I'm in darkness, so I get the darkness boost.
Yep.
And that is it.
That's it. They get no black dice. Roll them up.
Cool.
Now you could...
Oh, wait.
You could... Oh, you didn't have any mana. I was going to say you could spend mana to cycle it, so you can get a reroll potentially, but you don't have mana to spend, so don't worry about it. So you're either going to have to heal at some point or spend a mana to move it.
I'll heal after this, so here we go. Roll dice.
Boom, boom, boom. There you go. 2. They block 1. Remember that fire damage earlier?
Mm-hmm.
They only have 2 life. Boom, boom, boom.
Just enough.
Just enough. So Gargoyle is defeated. So first thing, you killed the leader. So go ahead and take 1 experience for defeating a miniature, 2 more for killing the leader, and that should put you at 5, right?
It does.
And I get 2 for watching you do that. Now we go ahead and we're going to discard this gargoyle over here. You're going to get this loot, this bow. You can just either put it in your stash or actually take it and
use
equip it.
So
if you'd rather have that than your wand of +1 attack if you get mana, if you have mana.
Yeah. Actually, I should get that mana right now, so let's do that. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. It's fine. Look at the mana.
Okay. And then you get a common item too. And this common item token goes right back in the treasure bag.
Right here?
Yep. Go ahead and take that.
Whoop.
Oh, you get a potion.
+1 action.
+1 action. And you can use that at any time. On your turn for that one. Mana potions, healing potions don't have to be on your turn. All right. So that is 1 action down. You have 2 more to go.
Let me ask the question. If I come into here,
Yes.
they have range and melee options. Who would they attack?
Yeah, let me look. Perform 2 actions. With each action, the mob attacks the target, a target within range if possible. If it cannot attack, it moves 1 zone toward the target. All right, I'm going to have to look that up, actually. I don't know if it's least life or if it's, which would be you,
Closest
obviously, or if it's closest. I don't know that, so I'm going to look that up. The rules are pretty good here, I will say. They go through all the classes and everything. Mob activation. Mobs try and attack heroes, perform actions whenever possible. Line of sight, ranger magic. If the mob has multiple targets available in the same distance, players choose who will be the defending hero. Which we know is going to be me. So.
In that case, I will spend... Well, do you need no help? Or does it hurt?
It's not going to hurt.
Yeah. I'll move in there for 1.
Yeah.
And then I have 1 more action.
Kills him.
Yes, we'll do attacky-tackies. So, trying to figure out if I want to spend my... I might use this stamina potion right now, actually, heal first. Maybe not, because there's... I don't know if I'm going to die.
You're not going to die. You're fine.
We'll go with it. We'll just go with the normal attack. Here we go. So it's going to be... Let me clear this up. It's going to be a yellow. They have what? They have 1 blue, 2 blacks. I'm a knight. Yes,
so
I'm in
combat,
darkness.
attacking or defending hero discards a mana, by the way. It's going to be their claw ability if they get it. So,
okay.
2 blacks because there are 2 minions, and you're in darkness. Perfect.
Let's do it.
So, good news, bad news. The good news is you could do it in any order you want. So, you could lose the 2 mana first, I believe. That might be cheesing the system a little. And you only have 1, and then you gain your mana. They said you can do the tokens in any order, right?
Yes.
And you get +1 mana at some point during your attack, I believe, is also the case. So you actually get 2 mana here.
I get 2 mana. So I basically would lose this and gain 2. So I'm going to set to 2.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me know if that's cheating. If somebody knows the rules better than me, you might have to, if you gain it, then use the claw later. So you might only have 1. But for now, we're going to call it good. By
the way, Matt did say it said closest here in the second sentence of the first paragraph.
Yep.
So.
Oh, did it?
Okay.
Perfect. So closest first. So. Double reason that they will attack me.
Yep. And there are 4 attacks to them, and they have no defense, so they take 4 damage.
They take 4 damage. Yep. So they have 3 life each.
3. Bummer.
So you kill 1.
Got 1 of them at least.
And then you do 1 additional damage.
All right.
So go ahead and take your 1 experience for killing 1.
Okay.
Now, I don't think you need to heal. You're at... Now, you could spend 1 just to move it if you want, to, rotate it. Or you can sit on it and maybe heal me next turn.
That's what I'm going to sit on, because you're right there, so...
Yeah. And actually, let's look up heal real quick. They have a keyword thing. It's probably in your zone only.
I assume so.
All right. So here's where the heal. The enemy or hero who recovers health equal to the indicated value when triggered by a hero, they may choose to apply the entirety of this effect to another hero in the same zone instead. When healing, the hero may choose to remove 1 fire token for each healed point instead of recovering wounds. When triggered by a mob, it cannot bring back killed minions. It's not a resurrection token, buddy.
Okay.
Is what it's saying. Okay. So let's go ahead and... so we're all done with all our actions, right? You're not using the extra activation?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and activate all the mobs. Let's just start with these guys. They're going to move 2. 1, 2.
Here they go.
They cannot open doors, so that's that. That's why they're running up the hallway. Running just as fast as they can. Holding onto one another's hands. All right, we got two columns of them running toward us.
Nice formation.
Yes. All right, so now we will activate the demons. The demons, not being the kind of demons that you're used to, these demons are immune to fire. These are the the cold demons. So they're gonna get hit by yellow. You put that fire on them, so why don't you go ahead? Oh no, the room did. So I'm gonna roll it.
The room did.
Hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna roll my first dice of the day. Boom, boom, boom.
Do it.
Double hit. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, got him.
Yes.
Got him.
All right. So because and then the fire goes away. It would have gone away either way. Because it was unspecified, because that damage was done to them by the door effect, we get to decide where the experience goes. I'm taking it. I'm not even asking.
Yeah.
I'm taking it. Because then if a mob leader is killed by me or not, then I get to do some stuff. All right. So this mob is going to activate twice. Their combat skill is, so they only get 1 yellow. Their combat skill is attacking or defending hero, discards a mana. Well, again, I'm going to use my special power to ignore that. So what do they attack with? By the way, just the yellow dice. That's right. So they get 1 yellow. They get no black dice. Oh, by the way, never mind. I'm not doing that. That's kind of stupid. Because they don't roll any black die. So they can't roll the claw symbol. I get 2 defense myself. So, by the way, thank you for taking them out. Thank you for your service, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to attack me once. That's 3 defense to their 1 attack. They're going to attack me twice. Ooh, 1 attack to my 1 defense. So, hey, that's still 0 damage done. Which, as a barbarian, makes me a little bit sad.
But you want to take damage.
But just a little bit. All right, so that is the end of our activation, but we're going to get to do something very cool because an enemy of activation, we now get to level up. Now, by we, I mean you. So, first level up costs 5 experience, so go ahead and knock it down to 1. You get plus 1 maximum hit point and also plus 1 current hit point, so go ahead and grab a hit point.
Oops. Yep.
We are going to
get
a rare treasure token and put it in the bag. Fachink.
Okay.
Some more chance of looting good stuff, which makes everyone happy, except for the monsters. Now, you have these 2 level 1 skills you could choose from, but go ahead and flip up your next 2 level, your level 2 spells, and...
2 of them?
Well, there are 2. I'm sorry. So you'll see on the back, it says level 2, and at the top there, it says level 2. So your choice is for one of these skills to add. All of them have a 1 after them, meaning none of them are upgrades of a current one. So you just pick a different spot to put it to. You can cover up your healing. You can cover up whatever one you want. I believe they all take up spots.
Hey, to deal 3 wounds to any enemy in the dungeon? Interesting.
Wait, where is that?
I like the idea of performing free action. Have you just kill stuff? Let's do that one.
I mean,
I walk.
You are a... you are a support class. You said it at the beginning.
I am. I love support class. We'll cover the combat here. I got enough combat going on, I think.
You're like, who needs combat?
Hey, I got a barbarian with me. All right.
We don't need no stinking combat. All right. So that's your leveling up. Now, darkness phase. We move it. So now we spawn our first wandering mob. Dun dun dun. For these guys, you just draw their card. But again, I'm gonna do it here because it puts their loot, or it's called roaming monsters. Excuse me. They are a little bit more unique than the mobs themselves. So what they're gonna do is whatever is printed on their card first. They start at the top. So this one is if Leiden is in a light zone, Leiden takes 3 wounds and moves to the closest shadow zone. Oh, Leiden is a vampire. Or it's an incubus, but an incubus that doesn't like light. So that would be its activation for the turn, by the way. So we want to get it in light zones. But if there is a hero up to 3 zones away, regardless of line of sight, place Leiden in the zone with the furthest hero up to 3 zones away, regardless of their line of sight, and add a fire to that hero and attack them.
Oh, wow.
So we have to stay in light to bring Leiden to us to get him in light, and then the next activation they would do nothing, right? So we would have to kind of move in an interesting way. So they don't have items on them underneath them. Their defense and attack is just printed here. Because they don't have minions, they get black dice regardless, or according to themselves. They have 7 life per hero. So this one, or they don't all, this one does have 7 life per hero. And they give us 2 random pulls. We got a rare and a common pull, but also we're going to also get a rare item. You'll see it's printed on his card. So we get 2 random pulls and a rare item for defeating Lord kick in the teeth. And he is going to start over here. So I think these are the most interesting minions in the game. Now, if neither of these things are true, which right now neither of them are true, not in light, because bridges are always darkness, and 1, 2, 3, oh, yeah, right now he teleported me. So if I stay here, that seems bad, like a bad move. If neither of these things are true, he just literally moves just like a mob 2 spaces toward us. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Yes, I want you to get more experience, so do it.
All right, yeah, and you get 3 experience, and I'll read about what we do with these opening the gate switches in a minute. I think it's just 1 movement point to activate it, but we'll see. First thing I'm doing is attacking. For the first time. For the first time in forever, I'm attacking a minion. All right, so he gets a blue dice. There are no little minion associated with them or whatever they're called. Oh, first thing I do is, never mind, I take fire damage. Come on, 1. There we go. All right, so I built up my first point of rage, and I lost my first one.
Due to fire.
Due to fire. I was on fire. All right, so now I attack with 1. I get this. I can spend magic to lower their defense. I can also spend magic to attack with additional dice. Of course, I'm going to do that. So I got 2 yellow dice. Now, remember, the maximum number of dice you could have is 3 of each color. That's not true for defense. I think it's 5 for defense. And I think black dice is 6. But I am also in darkness. So I get that going for me.
Good job.
So let's go ahead and really kill this dude, shall we? All right, so that's 4 damage. So my special ability, by the way, I could have taken a wound to deal a wound to the defender. Again, that wound would buff me up. I could have had a reroll here with this, or I could have spent it to roll an additional yellow dice as well. But I had plenty of attack. I do 3 damage to their 1 shield. By plenty of attack, I mean just barely enough to get past their 3 life that they have. So I get to loot this common thing, and I get this crossbow, which is going in my stash to get rid of at a later point.
Because that's a leader, you get 3 experience and I get 2?
Correct.
Okay.
So this goes back here. And I get a common loot. Which is, ooh, another potion. Never seen this one. Defense +3. Endurance potion. Seems like it's a little excess. All right, so it's 1 action. Let's see how we open the gate. Oh, let me get my 3 experience, shall we?
There's also this rare loot here.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because if it's moving to activate this, then I might loot the rare loot while I'm here. Or I could leave it for you to grab, too. So let's see. Open the gate. The switches are represented by the color side up objective token. Any hero standing in a zone with one of these objective tokens may spend 1 movement point to interact with the objective token and remove it from the dungeon. The hero who does so gains 3 experience. So let's start there. I get as much experience from looting that as I have for anything else I've done this game. So I might have more experience than you now. I'm up to 9. Well, I definitely have more than you currently, but I haven't spent my 5 yet. Don't forget.
You do have more than me. Yep.
So I can move here for my second one, or I just loot this and then move here at the end of my turn. If I don't...
Well, you don't want to be in that space, right?
Yeah, I don't want to be here. I want to move back. I mean, I'll have another action. I could just move to here, right?
Okay.
Or, to tank for you, I could spend... How much? I only have 1 wound. All right, so I'm going to leave that rare loot there. I think. That way I can tank for you. So I'll spend my second move to move here, and then I'm going to spend 2 more moves to move here. That way you can just feel free to blast away at these fools.
Okay.
Right? I mean, that loot will be there. If we ever want to come back. I mean, says the guy with 57,000 pieces of armor, right?
Hey, sorry, son. I love Massive Darkness 2. It's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, are you done with the activations?
I am. That was all 3. Yep.
Okay. So then if I did 1, pick that loot up for 2.
Yep.
I can go 2 here, and I can do. Yeah, that's 2. There's 2 actions there. Let's do that to start.
Okay.
To get a rare, let's see what it is. It is Elven Vest.
Oh.
Ooh. Ooh.
It's really good at melee defense. I mean, it's clearly better, right? It's 2 blue versus.
Really better, but it's pretty good for you, I feel like.
That is true. We can trade items at some point.
I'll hang on to it for now because it's better than what I had, so.
Yes. I mean, I feel like I came up here and tanked for nothing.
Why?
Because you're not going to be in line of sight, and I am at this point.
No, I will.
Why don't you run over
I'm
here?
going to do one more.
What are you going to do with your
Wait, what are you suggesting?
I'm saying just either stay there and get 2 mana back. That's an option for you. Or heal 1 and get 1 mana. And hopefully...
Because I was thinking about being in your spot and then blasting.
Well, you can't blast. You're out of actions. Unless you're going to use your free action.
Oh, wait, I'm out of range anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you have to be one spot. Yeah. So everything I did there was wrong, by the way. Don't watch this video for strategy. We're not here to teach you how to play well. Let's see. This guy's melee. Oh, they're both melee. So if you literally stand there, they're going to come to me. They're not even going to get to attack this turn. They're both going to come to my spot, and then we'll both be able to blast away at them next turn.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Literally both
okay.
melee.
So then I will rest up or whatever and heal. So if I can go up to...
You could heal 1, you could get 1 magic and 1 healing, or you could get 2 magic. Your choice.
Let's get 2 magic.
Boom, boom, boom. I mean, you are a mage, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we do. That's what we do.
All right, that's it.
All right.
Oh, wait, no, hold on. I have 5 health, so I can actually gain 1 each. Let's do that.
You could.
There we go.
What, did you feel a little squishy at 4? I'm sitting here at 6. Come on.
I feel a little squishy at 4, not gonna lie.
I'm sitting at 6. All right, we'll activate both these mobs because they both are melee. This one gets 2 dice, so I'd like to kill the heavy hammer one first, and then maybe get the heavy hammer. Although, if I get this club, I actually can dual wield that. So maybe it is actually better to kill this group first.
So these guys are all moving up into this.
Yep. Yeah, I just put them there. I'll find a spot for myself. All right, so yes, they literally both move twice because they can't attack.
Okay.
This one looks to do his first thing. He's not in light. Looks to do his second thing. Nobody's within 3, so he just walks. Wah, wah. Like,
he's coming though.
You're a big boss. You think so, huh?
Oh lordy.
You think you're bad? You're not bad. All right. So that is literally the enemy activation. And then we are going to do the level up phase. And I am at 9, so I get to spend 5 to level myself up. For my level up, I get 1 max life. So I will be up to 8 max life, but currently at 7. Steve, do you want to grab a rare token over here and put it in our treasure bag? While I look at my level 2 skills, or, I mean, my level 1s are pretty good, right? Like, I may just end up keeping putting another level 1 in. So, in Rage Fighter, any stance, so I could put this anywhere I want. You may change to this stance for free. Oh, that's pretty nice. I can change to my movement stance. That might not be bad. Any stance, anytime you spend 1 to heal yourself 2, only once per round. That's pretty good too. I am going to do the soothing one. Wait. So I don't know if I put this in a spot. I'm not going to bother reading it. Somebody in the chat, if you know, let me know. I think if I put it in a spot, I can't put the other skill there, right? So if I put that here, I'm not going to be able to put payback there later. So do I want to do more damage or heal? I don't want to die. Let's be honest. I'm the wimpiest barbarian ever. I am the wimpiest barbarian ever. I am the wimpiest well, I mean, let's be honest. I had 6 dudes on me. So none of that makes me happy. Would you like me to go first again?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, let's move this up, and we get another rare token. So if you don't mind putting a rare token in the bag. So now we're going to be spawning a regular mob next turn. Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
Well, so the only way it matters is they're more likely to retaliate on the first person, right? Because they have more minions. So if I end up killing some minions, they're doing less retaliation.
And you're wanting to take damage?
I do, because every damage I take, I get more rage, which lets me get rerolls, lets me get extra dice, all of it.
So maybe you start? I don't really know.
All right.
That's my guess.
I'll go first. All right. So I am actually going to attack the one with the weapon I want here, because it's a single-handed weapon. Oh, and if I take damage, I get to do wounds to the defenders too. Even better. So what happens if I dual wield? I have two weapons of the same type. I get to roll dice for both of them. So I would get 2 yellow dice innately if I get that weapon. So I'm going to try to kill these dudes first. They
have 4 health though.
4 health. But no defense. Literally 0 defense.
Oh, okay.
Whereas this one has 3 health and 1 defense. So the good news is I don't have to worry about ignoring defense. All right, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend one of my rage points here to add an extra yellow dice to my attack. So I get 1 yellow innately. I'm going to get another yellow for this. I can spend a mana here, and I will, to get another yellow. So I'm up to my maximum number of yellow dice. I am in the darkness. Yes, I am. They have no defense. They do have 2 minions, though, so they're going to counterattack me.
Yep.
All that makes sense?
Makes sense.
All right. So, boom, boom, boom. Okay.
That seems pretty good.
So it's 3 damage, and I get 3 magic back. I did not take a damage, but what is their counterattack ability? +1 yellow. Oh, only when they attack, so nothing.
Okay.
So they have no defensive ability. I want to reroll. I don't have a reroll. I would have had a reroll if I'd saved my mana. Or my, not my mana, my rage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! So here's what I do. During the attack, I can take a wound to wound the defender. So let's start with that. I take a wound, giving myself one of these, right? To wound the defender. So we will put a wound on them. And again, it's not a sword, it's a wound. So now I am going to go ahead and use this to reroll a die. I'm actually going to reroll that darkness die. As good as 2 mana is, I want swords or my special. You know what? That was the wimpiest roll ever. Like, I didn't get to boom, boom, boom. Nothing happened there. That's all right. I get 1 magic. I did 4 damage. So, boom, boom, boom. That is enough to defeat 1 with this 1 left over. So, I will defeat 1 of these undead minions. With the wimpiest boom, boom, boom ever. All right. So, now I do get 1 experience for that. That was 1 action. I am going to, guess what? I'm doing it again. I don't have any rage this time, but I can get rage, and I think I can add dice later on, because it says 1 time per attack, so I don't think I have to do it from the beginning. So I get 1 yellow dice. I do have a magic, so I'm going to spend it to give myself another yellow dice. They only get 1 black dice this time, and I am still in the darkness. So second activation, boom, boom, boom. Would they hit me? Come on, guys. You're better than that.
You scared him off.
So currently I'm doing 2 damage, and all right, so I'm going to go ahead and hurt myself 1 again.
Yep.
Which gives me a blood rage counter.
Yep.
To do 1 damage to them.
Yep.
So that, along with this, would let me kill them. Do I save that blood to roll an extra yellow next turn, or do I re-roll this right now? I think I'm re-rolling it. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to re-roll. Come on. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, boom, boom, boom. It's right. All right. So I get to do my shadow effect, which is gain 3 rage. I am Rage Boy. And I get to heal myself for 3. So guess what?
Max health.
Back up to full health.
That's awesome.
So, with that being said, I am going to spend 1 rage.
Now can you do this?
To roll a yellow dice. Yep. I believe that is true, because I have not applied damage yet. I think, like, I'm still resolving the dice. I believe that is correct. Somebody, again, correct me if I'm wrong. That is.
Try to roll again.
Yeah, I'm going to re-roll that. It looks like what I want, but that's okay. All right, so 3 total damage, and I get a mana. So now that everything is rolled, all the symbols are resolved beside the shields and swords. I'm going to resolve the swords. That is 3. So again, they have 4 health each. So 3 defeats one of the minions. And that is that. And they have 1 damage left on them. All right, so now I'm going to clean
Good
up.
job.
Last action. Going to spend a mana. I am going to roll. That means 2 yellow dice. You know what? I think I can see what happens before I spend my rage, so I'm going to do that, right? They don't get defense. They don't get that. I get this. I only need to do 3 damage. If I don't do it, I can either re-roll or add a yellow dice. So, boom, boom, boom. That is more than enough. Oh, by the way, I should have been getting experience for each of those killed. So right now I'm going to get... I think I got one for the first guy I killed.
3, 4, 5. She have 5 more experience.
So, yes, I just did 5. I was at 4, so I should be at 9. You get 2 more experience.
Yep.
And guess what? If you kill that other mob, then I will level up. And that will make me a little bit happy. Unfortunately, we're not in the same space, so we are not going to get to share this loot. So I do get 2 common loot and this, which I'm just putting right in my weapon slot here. We're not going to talk about how or wonder why. We're just doing it. And
common loot right here.
Common loot. Yep. Hey, more armor. Jeez. Well, that's why they have a whatchamacallit, blacksmith.
Forge.
Although I'm not sure how it works with like these level. Oh, the common armor I know how it works. I don't know how it works with like level 1 gear like that you get from guys or whatever. Oh, +1 sword on the attack. So this one is if you took at least 1 wound, you get to just do a wound to them. This one ignores the defense, but I got to spend mana to do it. So why don't I not do that? And I'll put this sword in, which is just literally +1 attack, which is just better than ignoring 1 armor.
Definitely.
All right. So there we go. And again, I can't change out any of my other gear. I could change out this armor I just got, but again, getting +2 mana on defense is just better. All right. So that is my activation. Oh, Sharon Rain seems to know the game. Says, I love Massive Darkness too. Let us know, Sharon, if you know the Barbarian at all. Am I allowed to have more than one thing under these? Or is like now that I put this here mean I cannot put something else here? I can look it up, but that is something I'm not going to waste everybody's time with. And unfortunately, my eyes are the eyes of the audience. So I'm not going to be doing that while you're doing your activation. But Steve, you do whatever you want, Steve. Whatever you want to do is up to you.
Pew, pew, pew. That's what's happening.
Yes.
So you got one. Let's attack these guys.
Yep. So they get 1 defense, and they get nothing for defensive abilities.
So I got 1 yellow.
Yep.
They get 1
no
defense.
Do they?
No defense?
Oh, they do. I lied. Just kidding.
Okay. And they have 2 minions.
Yep.
And I'm in darkness.
You are in darkness. Yep. And you're not casting a spell at this point.
No, I'm not. All right, let's see what happens. It's okay.
So this does nothing. You get a mana back, and you do 1 damage currently.
Yes, and I get another mana back as this, so I get 2 mana back.
Yep.
And 1 damage. Bummer.
That's a little sad.
It is.
Not gonna lie. I mean, you could spend 1, 2, 3 mana to move it all the way back around over here.
Is that an action to spend mana?
No.
Rotate it?
No.
Okay, I want to spend it once to rotate here.
Yep.
Second action, I'm going to do this. Choose any hero. Peter, would you like to do the honors?
Oh, yeah. And I don't... Does that say action?
Yep.
No.
Free action.
You have to spend an action. I think it's a... It doesn't say action for you. I don't know if that's an
Oh, what do you
action
mean?
or not.
I think it's an action, right?
Well, I mean, it seems
Maybe
weird
not.
that you'd have to spend 3 mana and an action to let me perform an action. I think that's a free
Oh
action.
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
like healing, I think is a free action too. I could be
I think
wrong
you're
about
right
the
because for
healing.
the move, we didn't spend action for that. That would be dumb.
Well,
So
no, no,
yeah, I
no.
think you're right.
So for some of these, it is right. So
This is
spend
an action for
one
sure.
when you take a move action. Oh no, that just says
Right.
move one.
Let's just move on. Yeah, this is an action for sure, right?
Well,
This is
because it says
attack,
attack two. So it says that
right?
when you take an attack action is what that's saying. I
Oh,
don't think those are actions. Let's see what this special action. So some skills, abilities, and items provide additional actions for the hero. If the component has action on it, the hero may spend one action to trigger it. No, those are free.
sweet. You take an action, free action.
Yep. I mean, it's not free. It costs you 3 mana, right? It's not.
That's worth it. It's worth it.
But then that means you still have 3 actions.
2 actions because I attack.
Or 2 actions. Right. All right. So I'm
Yeah.
using both my weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Do I use a mana? I don't have mana. So I'll use a rage to get another yellow dice. They get 1 defense, and they get 2 minions. And I'm in darkness. Does that all look right to you?
Looks right to me.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, that one it just spit all the way over here.
That was really awkward. Oh, we got you special.
Oh, but healing 3 doesn't do much, and getting 3 rage is not terrible, but it's not the best thing I've seen. So I will go ahead and trigger my special. So I'll get the 3 rage. I mean, I'm not going to be sad about that. Like, I will certainly use the rage.
Yeah, I rerolled that shield for sure.
Do I re-roll the shield? Do I re-roll? Yeah, you're right. All right, so I'll spend
Is it only one
rage
dice you can reroll?
to re-roll the shield. What was that?
Is it only 1 dice you can reroll?
Only one. I think you can only do it once.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because it says attack 1. That means once per attack.
Oh, okay, okay.
So they got 1. So I do 3
better.
damage. I mean, it's not 0. So 3 kills one of the minions. And then when you attack them in 2 seconds, they will not have 2 black dice. They'll only have 1. Not that they do anything on the... Well, they have the retaliate thing. But, yeah. All right. I mean, I'm not sad about getting 1 dead and getting 3 rage.
You know the experience too.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's a 10th experience! That is... But, by the way, that also is going to level up the monsters. Not only do
That's
we level
fine.
up, we're leveling up
I'll
the
catch
monsters.
up. I'll catch up.
Yep.
All right. So
Well, if you kill these dudes, you level as... Oh, no, you're 1 short. That is sad.
okay. I'll catch up. I'm not worried. Trying to think. Does it make sense to skip that? Then I don't have the magic. Ooh, I can discard this to do it.
You could.
That's tempting.
I mean,
Let's do it.
2 extra swords and a...
Yeah, let's rotate it, and then let's use the mana potion. That's what it's there for.
Yep. So you get to do your special ability. Well, I guess you don't have to decide now. I think you can decide later after you see what.
Well, I don't have the mana right now to cast it, so.
Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I have to do a normal attack, and then I cast it.
Yeah, you can. I think you can decide later. I don't think you have to decide at the beginning.
Okay.
I mean, the rules are not clear about everything. Like, the rules are good. They're not great. So, I mean, you read it with me right here real quick. It's not a very big section. Where does it say attack? Right here. Attack. Timing conditions. The ability can only be triggered by the attacker once per combat. Doesn't say before you attack anything else. I think you can just add it in at any time. Right? Like, plus a dice adds X dice to the type shown to the dice pool. I think you can do it after you first roll. Maybe there's a timing of combat I'm unfamiliar with. That, like, there's a window where you can't add dice anymore. So maybe I've been doing that wrong.
Seems right. Well, seems right. All right, let's roll these dice and see what
gather
happens.
the quantity of dice shown on the weapon and add them to the pool. If the attacker is a hero in the shadow, gather all the defender's dice and add it to the pool. If the mod's in... this is just assembling a dice pool. Resolving the attack. Roll all dice in the dice pool. Apply abilities effects. So those must be resolved. Yeah, I don't know. I think you can just add dice at any time. It doesn't. I mean, unless that's the only time you get to roll dice. It's like basically do your abilities in the middle, and then you do the shield. I don't know. Again, if anybody else has a different interpretation of that, let me know. All right.
Okay. Let's see what happens to this attack. This is +2 and a fire.
Seems good.
It's something.
Their ability doesn't do anything, and you don't have rerolls, right? Oh, you do get a mana. Don't forget whenever you attack.
Oh, that's right. I do. Yep.
So you do
it's
one damage.
+2, so it's be 3 damage.
And you set them on fire.
3 damage is going to kill the dude.
So you get 1
minion. They get 1 experience, and they're on fire.
And they're on fire. So you need to do 2 more to finish them off.
So that was 1, 2. I can just attack, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, just do a normal attack. Oh, that does rotate, by the way. So you're back to healing.
Oh yeah, thank you. All right, the normal attack. Here we go.
Black die, yeah. Come on, purple die, show up. That did not show up.
Hey, that's enough. That's enough.
No, it should be shield.
So right, but they take 1 damage and they have fire, right? So they should die, right?
Well, hopefully, yes. Go ahead and get your 1 mana too when you attack.
Oh yeah, thank you. And this one too. So I get another one.
Yep. So you get a 2nd mana. Is there anything you can do so you can move this around? No. I mean, you could. No, you can't even do that. You have to have 4 mana for that.
Yeah, nope. I think that's pretty good.
Hopefully the fire will take care of him. It's fine. It's fine. Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Where is this dude? 1, 2, 3. Oh, but he's going to move 2 toward us and be in the light. Literally, he'll be in the light. And all he does when he's in the light is take 3 wounds and move to the shadow zone. The closest shadow zone, which will be wherever we choose, here or here. Oh, so this is a pillar here. Pillars are, I think they remove dice from range combats. But
oh, okay.
We don't have to worry about that right now. I think Induit too, though. So we'll have to look that up if we're ever fighting on that space, which we might be eventually. Okay, well, let's go ahead. We're done. Let's activate the enemy. He's not within 3 of anybody, so he's going to move 2 closer. Bink, bink. Hey, what's over here, guys? Oh, it's the light. No! All right, let's activate him. Go ahead and roll that yellow dice and please kill him.
There we go.
Boom, boom, boom.
There we go.
That showed a lot of blanks when it was spinning in the air. And then it landed just perfectly. All right, so you get a rare item, and you get this thing, which is a heavy hammer.
Okay. Unless you want it.
I mean, it's a 2-handed weapon. I have a 1-handed weapon that is literally the same thing.
Oh, it's 2-handed. Yeah, never mind. We'll just hang on to it.
Yeah.
And then because that's leader, we both get 2 experience?
We do. That didn't get you there, though, did it? You're 1 short?
Damn, 1 short.
Wow.
And then we get a special thing, a rare.
Rare. Yep. And I'll put this back in the treasure bag.
Leprechaun Slivers. Defense 3 magic. Take the attacking mob's item. What?
So, when they...
You just steal their stuff?
You steal their item, and you get 3 mana. Oh, no, you have to spend 3 mana. You have to spend 3 mana to take their item. Now, if they attack without an item, they just roll another black dice instead of whatever die they would have rolled.
I'll hang on to that because I probably got more magic than you, I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, I can't even get to 3. I have 2 max magic.
Oh, right, you can't get there. This is a what? What is this? Oh, foot. Yeah, right there. Cool. Sweet.
We're not on the same space, so I can't take it anyway. You have to. I was on the same space as a mob. It's a little weird that you're looting from a space away, but that is the way the game works. You did the damage, so you can. Fine. By the way, you get 2, but 1 for killing him also.
Oh, okay. 1 short.
Yes, which is sad. Everyone is sad.
Level up?
Yep. So level up phase, I have to spend 10. So I am back down to 2 experience. But that's okay, because we'll let you loot this, and that's 3 experience right there.
Yep.
Right? And actually, I'm just gonna go fight this guy. I think while you.
So don't you get more health right now?
Oh yeah. So sorry. I level up.
But this should be down here, right? Level 3.
Yep. So I get 1 max health and 1 mana as well.
And then
We
you
put
get one
a
of those special things.
ultra rare in the bag.
Right here? Yeah.
All right, now I get to look at my level 3 Berserker skills. Fatal Fury. This ability called... Oh, so I could upgrade this. For 1, I could get an orange and... Yep, we're doing that.
Easy choice.
Don't need to look at the other things. I'm still... Like I said, I'm still not sure. I think there can only be 1 under each of these slots. So I think I have given up my ability to do my payback ability. Which also means I can't do payback 2. Oh my gosh! If you took at least 1 wound, deal 4?
Yeah.
Wow. Alright, and what did I get? Heal 2? Wah wah. Fine. Everything's fine. I don't regret any choices I made. I mean,
choices were made. That's all we're going to say.
I'm going to need to heal at some point in the game, I'm sure. Alright. So that is the end of the leveling up stage. So now, we're spawning a mob, not a mob, a mob. And these level 1 and 2s, we're done with them. We're going on to level 3s and 4s. So the monsters do level up, but you get a time to feel powerful, and then they kick you in the teeth again. Oops, I spawned a monster. That is incorrect. Let me put this back. Sorry. That goes away. This goes back over here. We are not spawning a roaming monster. We're spawning a mob. And again, it is going to spawn in that spawning portal where everything spawns for now. 3 life, 2 defense. And it also has a defense ability. If it rolls 2 claws, something happen. Oh, add a skeleton to the mob. These are skeletons that apparently regenerate if they roll 2 claws. Which is much worse than higher player count game, let's be honest. Because they only get 2 dice. So they'd have to roll both claws. Add 1 skeleton to the mob if possible, unless the attacking hero discards a magic. Oh, that's not even that hard to counter. Huh. Alright. I mean, it's different, but it's pretty easy to counter. Alright. Do you want me to punch somebody in the face first? Or do you want to go first?
Go ahead. You can take on that part. Fine.
Alright. So I'm going to move in. For my first action, second action, I'm going to attack. Guess what I'm doing? I'm adding an orange dice. Because I can.
Yellow and one or the other. Never mind.
Yeah, and I'm going to spend a magic to add a yellow. So I'm going to be at 2 yellow and be at 1 orange.
They have 2 blues and a black.
Yep. And this is a level 1, by the way.
Wow. No, night. Is United in Darkness.
Oh, no! Well, that's sad. That is real sad. Darkness does make a huge difference. Alright, well, is what it is. Oh, I do have +1 attack. Let's not forget that. And do they have a special ability? No, because they don't have minions, right? Oh, no, they do. But it's only an attacking event. So I don't need to cancel it. Oh, I do a wound to them if they do a wound to me. So let's roll a wound, shall we? Yes,
there you go.
Took a wound. All right, so that gives me a rage, and it does a wound to them. And again, wound means wound, not roll for whatever, or a sword.
They have 14 health, is my understanding.
14 health, yes, because it's 7 per player. Yep. It's a lot. But he'll take 3 at the end of this phase and not attack or do anything else, right? He just needs to get out of the light. I can re-roll something. I think I'm going to re-roll their defense, right? For 1 rage. I get to re-roll something. So. I think that is the best I can do. Yes.
Oh,
That seems very good. So I get a magic. I get +1 attack down here, by the way, just a reminder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. I took a wound. I gave them a wound already. So 5 damage. They have 0 defense.
you can also do this too if you want your innate.
Oh, yeah. Of course I am. So take another one.
So 6 damage, I think.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my innate 6. Yep. And they just had one. So he is half dead.
That's amazing.
I mean, so we do get better. There's a lot of leveling in this game. I will say that. So 7 damage. Feels nice. And that was without a shadow dice, too. Guess what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
That was 1 action. Oh, no, that's 2 actions. I'm doing it
Yep,
again.
you one left.
So I'm spending a rage to add an orange dice. I'm spending a magic to get another yellow dice. He had 2 defense and a black. Is that right?
If you're dual wielding, should you have gotten 2 yellow dice?
You are correct, sir. I'll add another yellow dice. I'll roll that separately in a minute. I'll roll that right now. You are correct, sir. Well, I just clean up and just roll the yellow. You are correct.
So just straight damage.
All right,
one more damage.
One more damage. So he's up to 8. So 1, 2 for the 2 swords. I spent the mana. That's a third one. I spent the wound up there to get the orange. They get 2 blue and a black. Boom, boom, boom. Well, that's
I get an extra damage for you.
So I do get a mana. I get a reroll. I think I rerolled this, right? So let's spend this. Well, I'm not even going to spend it. I'm just going to take a wound to give him a wound. So he's up to 9 wounds now. So I reroll my orange dice, or do I reroll his defense? What are the sides on orange? Oh, I'm rerolling the red. We'll let him have his wimpy defense. I went from a 0 to a 1. That's fine. All right, so I did 1 wound from this.
Yep.
So
1 wound from here. One wound from here, so 3?
Well, no, these aren't wounds. So 1 wound automatically. So that should have put him at 9 wounds. And then my attack is 1, 2, 3, 4 attack to their 2 defense. So 2 more goes through. So he should be up to 11. So I did the 1 automatic wound, and then 2 of my attack got through. So he's 11 out of 14. Guess what? He's going to take 3 for being in the light. So you don't even got to do anything. And we both get 4, by the way.
He be dead. Nice job.
He is going to be dead, and one of us gets the extra experience. I took it last time, so you can take it this time, because it's the light that's killing him.
Okay.
So we get to decide who gets the experience. It was you. You did a very good job cheering me on.
Sounds good.
All right. So we do still have to get this token. It is going to spawn a mob.
Your turn's done, right?
Huh?
Your turn's done?
My turn is done. That was all my actions.
So move here for first action. Second action is open the door.
Yep. So first things
which
first.
Which would spawn a door card.
Door card. Yep.
Each hero takes 1 wound unless they spend a magic.
I'll take a wound.
A magic. No problem. And then that was 1, 2.
Oh, whoa. Hold on. Let's spawn everything first.
Oh, yeah.
In case you change your mind. Because don't forget, they will move 2 and just move 2 here if you're out here.
That's fair.
So, yeah, you have that option in 1 second. So we will spawn a mob, level 3, 2 minions. Oh, they do an orange dice at range. And the attack, they get +2 yellow dice. And this mob takes 2 wounds. So you can add dice later. Proof positive, right?
Yep, proof positive.
I think that is... Oh, sorry. Go ahead and grab a loot. See what that is. Come on, epic loot. Oh! When I leveled up, did we add an epic loot in? Did you do that?
Yes, I think I did. Pretty sure I did.
Let me see.
Yep,
Well,
pretty sure I did.
I'll look in. Yes, there is one epic in there. That goes in the room.
Oh, in the room.
That was in the
okay.
room. Yeah. So that one will take an action to pick up.
Gotcha.
Or a movement point, not an action. Okay. So
these guys would move forward and shoot me.
They wouldn't even move. They have a line of sight to you right now.
Well, range is... Oh, that's right. It's not
no,
magic.
that's
it's
not
range.
magic. That's range.
Okay.
Now, if
so continue my movement into here.
Or if you move here, they will literally move.
Oh, I see. Draw into the darkness to get stronger?
Yep.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Let's do that.
Okay. And
so that was 1, 2. I got one action left.
You get mana, life, whatever. I guess you
can't
get
mana.
I mean, seems like...
let's get mana, and then let's go ahead and spend it, because I'm at not full health.
It's only
should be at... Oh, it's only 1. Never mind. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point, you will not be at 1 anymore. All right.
Okay.
Enemy activation. These guys have no target. So they just move. And then they move again because they still have no target. This guy does what's on his card. If they're in the light, they take 3 wounds and move to closest shadow. Well, they ain't going to move because that 3 damage, boom, 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 defeats them. All right, so go ahead and get a rare loot. Wait, why is there only... Oh, a rare loot, a common loot, and another rare loot. So get 2 rares and a common.
There you go. That's what we got.
And since we're giving you the experience, you get the items too. I think that's how it works. I don't know. It's fine. Ooh.
You can take it.
No. That's yours.
Really?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You get all the loot. I think we have to pick somebody to get the loot, the experience, all that. You get all of it. It's all good.
Firing drums. That's interesting.
Oh, that's a magic item. It's two-handed. Oh, you can use two-handed.
Yeah.
That's your special. So you could literally dual wield that item.
Yes, please.
Seems good.
And what's leggings? Light defense. Ignore 1 die. Oh, interesting. So when they attack me for defense, I just say, hey, I don't like that dice.
Yep.
Correct. Seems better than this.
You think?
And I guess it's potion. I guess.
Who cares if they have an item if you just ignore the entire dice?
Yep.
What? That is great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So as you can see, items get pretty good pretty quick in this game. That is one of the complaints I've heard about it, is it becomes too easy after a while. Like it starts off super hard and becomes easier. But we could talk about all the different stuff at the end in our final thoughts.
Yes, and then we do level up, right? Because we get 4 experience each.
Correct. You get 5.
A rolling one.
You get 5.
I get 5. Okay.
Yep. So
I'm up to 14. Then I spend 10 of it to level up.
Yep. Perfect.
Sweet.
All right.
More health.
So that was the enemy's activation.
More magic, and then we get another special relic. Loot. Okay.
Okay.
Oh wait, do I pick another thing here?
Oh, I forgot to move these skeletons, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we forgot them. I think this is the first turn they spawned, right? Yes. Okay. Good.
Now you look at level 3 spells, right?
Yep. Along with you, and again, you can do lower level ones if you want. There's another level 3 here. There's 3 on the back.
As long as the skill is on the spell amulet. What the spell amulet is. Oh.
Is this the spell amulet, I think?
Oh, maybe.
You may use sword as if it is a magic. With range 0.
I already have 3 dice. I'm not worried about that right now. So.
Well, but here's the other negative of it. It takes up a spot, right? That you can't cast the spell in that spot. Because I think it covers the spot. You do have another level 3 card up here, by the way.
Oh, another one? Oh.
Yep. This one replaces the one you currently have. So just +1 fire.
I can put this dark magic 2, or do you need a dark magic 1 before?
You need dark magic 1 first.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Those seem pretty good.
Yeah. I might take one of those, honestly, and work my way to the dark magic 2.
Yeah, because this just gives it 1 extra flame token, which isn't bad. I mean, it's probably at least 1 extra damage on average.
But I like the other one, so let's do that.
All right, and you're replacing your move?
Yep. Well, no, we don't need healing. We don't need no stinking healing.
We don't need no stinking healing. Oh, yeah, so you can use it now.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I mean, not right now, but like on your turn, you can use it. Is that an action?
Oh, it's not an action.
But it is casting a spell, so it will move the wheel. So you can't like cast it
correct.
over and over.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, you're like the Doctor Strange of heroes here. All right. So where are we at?
Okay, that was leveling up. Then we did enemies, we have to do darkness.
Yep. So darkness.
So we get another special.
We get a super epic item.
Sweet.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to clear these guys?
If you want to, go ahead.
Well, the only reason I'm thinking is that way you can come here and let's see. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just thinking you're already up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you prefer? If you want to take them out, you go first. If you want me to take them out, I'll go first. I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I can take them out, but I can at least weaken them for you.
Yeah, do it. Weaken them.
All right. So I'm going to spend 1 to move my axe here. I'm going to spend 1 more to move for 1 extra space. So 1, 2, 3 for 1 action. I'm then going to spend my last 1 to move the axe back. So that way if I take some damage, I can actually add an orange dice, which seems good.
Nice.
All right. So I've taken 1 action as a move action. So I get 2 yellow dice for my 2... Oops. Let's just clear all this up. I get 2 yellow dice for my 2 swords. Or my sword and my club. I'm going to spend a magic to get another yellow dice. I am in darkness. My home is the darkness. I am Batman. So
Batman.
They have 0 defense and 5 life.
A lot of life.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. All right. 2 black dice, and I'm hoping to take at least... Oh, no, it doesn't matter if I take damage. I'm going to hurt myself. So that's fine. Oh, ow. Maybe I'm not hurting myself. So I take 2 damage.
Did you not roll your... Oh, you don't have defense. That's right. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, they don't have defense. I take 2 damage. Oh, I get my special. Never mind. I don't care about that. Oh. All right. So I took my 2 damage. I get 2 for that. I got my special, so that's 1, 2, 3. And I get 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm no longer sad. Their claws were only attack, right?
Yes, only for attacks.
+2 yellow. Oh my gosh. That is brutal. So I've done all the stuff with this stuff. I'm going to take a wound to roll an orange. Why? Because that seems smart. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. The question is, do I use another rage counter to re-roll this yellow? I mean, it can't get worse, and I got plenty of rage right now, right? Sure. We don't want another blank.
There you go.
All right. So I get a mana back. And now we resolve attacks and defense. So I'm +1 attack for this. I'm going to take a wound. Get another rage token. To do another wound. All right. So they have no defense, so I'm just going to call everything wounds. So 1 wound for my special. 1 wound here. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage to their 5 life. That kills one of the minions. and puts 3 damage on the next. All right, remember how I said I didn't think I'd kill him? I lied. Hey, Sally, remember how I said I'd kill you last? I lied. All right, so I'm going to use that mana to get my 3rd yellow dice. I'm going to use that rage to give myself another orange token. They still run a defense, and they only have 1 dude, and I get that. And I have a reroll if I need it. Boom, boom, boom. Ow.
Holy cow.
Ow. But remember how I said I wasn't going to kill him?
Wow.
So I did get hit by them for 1. I don't think I'm going to have to hurt myself on this attack. So,
you want to reroll something?
No, I'm not even going to waste it. No, I don't think it can get better. Like,
I don't think so either.
Actually, no.
Well, I guess you get the yellow.
I could get a mana, which would be nice. So then I get my 3rd yellow for next battle. I think I'm okay, though.
Yeah.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that would have killed them if they were perfectly healthy. So
that's amazing.
Dead. Yeah, that was pretty epic. Okay, so there's some things I forgot to do. I should get 3 experience plus 2 more. So 3, and then 2 gets me to 11. You should get 2.
2 experience?
Yep.
Okay.
Then I get a rare item, and I get this crossbow, which, yeah, not doing that. Probably, actually, it does give me a ranged option. Oh, and my range gets... Nah, not doing that.
A rare item.
So I do get a rare.
This one right here. See what it is. Crusader Shield. Defense. Heal 1. Yourself only.
Oh, and it takes up a hand?
Yep, hand slot.
Yeah, no. I got a lot of items here. If you want to trade for anything and then go sell it or whatever, that's fine. Or you can just go loot some stuff and get us closer to winning.
Might just loot stuff.
You're like, winning? What's that? Should I just heal myself too? It would cost me 2 rage to do, and really 3 because I'd have to get the rage back over here. I'm at 5. You could heal me, I guess, theoretically. Oh no, you can't anymore. Never mind. Oh, I still haven't used my healing potion, have I? Oh, I still have healing. All right, I'm just gonna use that now. Well, no, there's no reason. Yeah, no, there's no reason to. Forget it. It's fine. Everything is fine. Go for it.
All right, so 1, 2.
Buckle my shoe.
3, 4. Loot.
You can loot that, or you're gonna loot the objective.
Loot the objective. Let's do the objective first.
All right, so get 3 experience.
Okay.
And because it is the second one, this door is going to open immediately.
Okay.
I believe that is correct. Interact with the objective token, remove it. The hero who does so takes 1. Inferno reveals as soon as both color side up objective tokens are removed from the gate, the gate opens. Flip the door token to the white outline to the open side and reveal the chamber as usual. So that means draw a door card.
Open chambers. After revealing this chamber, open the closest closed chamber and reveal it as well. So
don't draw a door card. There's only one closed chamber. That's this one.
Okay.
It's open.
Interesting.
Don't resolve a door card. Well.
Oh, don't resolve a door card?
Yeah. Right? Don't draw a
door card. Nope, you're right. It says
so
right there.
Literally it won't matter because like nothing's in this room, but it might have mattered, right? So we do need to spawn an enemy here. So we just go over here. We're spawning a mob. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Ooh, look at those. There's some nice loot on that guy.
Oh, he's got an epic loot. We've got some epic loot. So to win at this point, just so you know, we don't have to kill them. Enter Hell. Any hero on the altar zone marked by a gray objective token may spend a movement point to exit the dungeon. Once all heroes have exited, the quest ends in victory.
Sweet.
So, just so you know, moving through mobs. If you move through a mob, you take 1 damage per figure in there to move out of
Okay.
their space. So as long as you have 4 life, you could literally just run through them and run to the gate and win. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Now I am super far away. I can get
So it
extra
goes
movement.
1, 2, 1, 2. I got one more action. So I will open this door.
Are
And
you?
then let's loot this thing.
Are you going to open that door? Because then they're going to come here instead of coming here.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll open the door.
That's your choice.
How do I
2. Close it back up.
state? Where's the state thing? Oh, thank you. Fine, I'll get the loot and then I'll move back up this way.
Oh.
Let's go this. We get a dragon sword. Attack, 1 magic, add fire to the defender.
And it's red dice. Is that one-handed? Oh my god. That is... Wait, why did you move back up, though? Let's think about this.
Because aren't they coming this way?
They're coming this way, which means you can just open this door and go right behind them.
Oh, good call. Sure, I'll just stay there. Okay.
Yeah, we're outsmarting them. We're not out... We're playing... what's that game? Where you're just trying not to kill monsters because they mess up your time. What game is that? Do you know what I'm talking about? Arnak? Or not Arnak. Andor.
Oh, yeah, Endor. Yeah.
Yeah, where you try not to kill monsters. We're at that portion of the game where we're just like, all right, we're just trying to get out of here at this point.
All right, that's it for me.
All right, so enemy activation. They move too. These dudes, unfortunately, will be in our way. But that's okay. We can just run right by them.
And then level up, which neither of us can. And then darkness, which we get another mob, looks like.
Yep, that is a regular mob spawn. So again, we still spawn them on this whatchamacallit, roaming monster gate. But so spawn.
Fire dudes, interesting.
Those dudes are on fire. Fire
4 health.
entities.
Adding fire. Oh, and the magic guys too. Okay.
Oh, they have a magic item. Oh, with a yellow and a red? 2-handed, but you don't care about that. Oh, that would be nice.
Nope.
I mean, I still think we just run for the hills.
I agree.
We just run into hell at this point. Hell is coming with me. So why don't you go ahead and go first? Because you can just... Because you're at the gate already. You're at the door.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure... Does it make sense for me to...
1, 2, 1, 2. You can do it if you take all 3 actions just moving.
And I take how much damage? Oh, I've got 6 health. I got plenty. Yeah. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2 to leave this thing.
Yeah, you just leave. You took 3 damage for moving out of their space. And it's not a campaign, so it doesn't matter. All right, I'm going to spend a rage to move to my reckless ability, which gives me +1 movement for each rage I spend whenever I take a move action. So 1, 2, 3, because I'll spend a rage. 1, 2, because I don't need to move an extra 1 this time. And then 1, I leave them, and I build 3 more rage. As I
get angry as you leave.
I'm so angry! And my second action will be to move out of the dungeon. All right, so let's get into final thoughts, shall we?
Or first impression, probably.
First impressions of our final thoughts, which will be first impressions. So, boom, boom, boom. Wow, I had the top of my head showing only this entire time. Good. I hope you guys enjoyed the top of my head. So we got Zimbo. Would you all say Sword and Sorcery is the most complicated dungeon crawler of all time? Even more complicated than Madara and Gloomhaven. Wow.
I would say yes.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
So So there is something here that they have in Sword and Sorcery. Do you know what I'm going to say? It's
That
not the
the enemies
same.
get random boosts.
Yes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That drove me absolutely crazy in Sword and Sorcery because I had to
Oh, really?
remember who had a boost and like what the boost was, and like there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't much differentiation between the figures, and like wait, which one of these guys had it? And oh yeah, like I can't remember how they were differentiated, probably a shield or something like that. But it was just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, that drove me crazy. Here, the entire mob gets the boost, and it's literally just determines what their attack is. So I don't even think it's that impactful. Um,
Sure.
most of the time here. Whereas there, it was more impactful, and that was part of Mike's problem with this game. I guess we'll get the negative. Do we want to start with the negative here? The comments from Mike and Jerry, or why don't you give your first impressions before I give their negative, and then we can respond to them.
Yeah. So I really liked how the characters felt asymmetric,
Yep.
for sure. I felt that stood out. They each have seem to have their own like mini game almost, which is really cool. The dice seem fine. The range of values is it's a fairly wide value range, so
Yes.
it's a little bit harder to predict what you can get, but it makes for exciting turns. So that's a pro and con there, right? Mix. Um, the one thing I'm concerned about is playing on TTS. This was fine, but that's because we're pushing a button and we're spawning minions and all that fun stuff and the cards. How you manage that in the physical space, I can see being a bit of an issue.
Now I don't know how many monsters come with the base game. What we
Okay.
played today is out of the base game,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like 5 heroes because there's like 9 or something at this point that you can
Mm-hmm.
use. And we were originally going to use the Necromancer, but I'm like, you know what? He's super complicated. I don't even know where his rules are. Like, so at this point, though,
Yeah.
you got Rogue, Paladin, Berserker, Wizard, Ranger, Shaman, Bard, Monk, Druid, Tinker, Necromancer. Like, there's a lot of options here, right? But in the base game, I wonder if they list the number of enemies that come. Because I do worry about that too. Like, having to look through, like, if you look down here, all these blue bags are enemies.
Yeah.
But this is Simon, right?
Right.
And there's
Right.
like, if you look over here, this is how many expansions they have for this
Only a
game,
few.
right? So I'm looking at the base game, which is around $100, give or take. You're gonna get all these missions. I think there are 6 or 8 missions, something like that.
Good number.
Now I don't know how different they are, right? Like that
Yeah.
I can't answer. Soul keys, like all these are objective. Hellscape is the last one, right? So these are all missions in the core game. And in fact, I know how many there are. Oh, I deleted them. Let's see if I can re-put them out. No, I can't. I think it's like 8 though.
That's fine.
Might be 10, 8 or 10, somewhere in there. All right.
So I like the loot.
I was looking
A
for
lot.
number of heroes in the base game and number of monsters. Because I agree with you. If there's like 50 monsters, like to look and find the right one.
I'll go back up to the right there. Does it
Okay,
say here?
so there's 6 heroes that come in the base game.
Yep.
I don't know what
Before
classes
that had
they
monsters
are.
on it.
Yep. And
There you
then-
go. 62 miniatures.
But remember that includes minions.
Right.
Oh, so Fallen Angel, Leader, and minions, right?
Two,
So
three.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of minions, monsters, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 roaming monsters. So that's not that bad to find, right?
Yeah. I think from the core set, it seems okay. I see this being a pain if you had a lot of expansions, and I mean it'd be
Right.
fun with a variety for sure. But
is it-
finding all the adventures, I can see being a pain in the butt potentially.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm to the point in my life where like Simon. So we'll use Marvel United as a perfect example.
Hmm.
Marvel United, I was all in on their original Kickstarter, and I know you're all in on everything, but hear me out
Hmm.
here. I was all in on their original Kickstarter, and then they started adding stuff, and it's $40 for this and $40 for that, and they just by the time the game's released, it's already got like 10 to 15 expansions in it, which
Hmm.
is like crazy. So the time I realized I hate this is when we backed a game called, oh, it's the name of a company now too. It was like a head-to-head battler where they just unlocked Mythic Battles Pantheon is what it
Mm,
was.
okay. Okay.
And we played it as a Kickstarter preview or whatever else. I don't even remember. I guess they must have had co-op, or we just played it, the two of us. Like, but we had a Kickstarter preview of it. I think they had a TTS mod for it. We played it and we really enjoyed it. And then Mike went all in on it, like literally
Mhm.
hog, like $300, whatever. We get it, and it's like to start a game, you have to pick your heroes first out of like 100 heroes, and we're like, you have to look through like 10 boxes to figure it out. It's not even like it's not worth it. You know what I mean? And even opening when you get that much stuff, even opening it up is like overwhelming. Um,
Yeah.
Now I think the smart thing to probably do is open the base box and only play with that for a while, and then open the expansion slowly. But who wants to do that? You spent $300. You got all this stuff. You know, I don't
Hmm.
know. So literally, we didn't want to play the game, even though we enjoyed the game a lot because of the bloat. Um, and so that's when I realized that too much is too much. So I almost think if I was to get this game, and by the way, we're reviewing it and we're showing it off because Colin owns it. So as long as one of us owns it, I feel okay playing Tabletop Simulator to show off their game for them. This is
Agreed.
certainly if I was going to keep playing the game, I would end up buying it. That's kind of my policy, my ethics when it comes to this. I don't mind
Yep.
demoing it if it's on TTS or whatever else. I don't mind doing a demo game of it in that situation, but I do believe in supporting the publisher. So, with all that being said, if I was to buy this game, I would never want all that stuff. I would be just fine with 6 heroes and with the 8 minions. So what they do for minions for higher level, so I don't know if this is gonna be easy to find, but like they'll have like Gethria, the undead queen here, but she'll also be in a level 3 or 4 monster one. It'll have a higher version of her, right? So it's just a better version of the same mob. So if she spawns and she's already in the dungeon, you just upgrade her to the new form, keeping all the damage on her she has taken, and she activates once.
Mm, okay.
And that works for mobs as well. The mobs are duplicated throughout as well, the cards. Um, so I guess you're going to have like 8 at each level for the 8 base game mobs.
That's not bad. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. So there
Because
is. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, because the Reichbusters game is where this kind of hit me hard. Where I like the game, the Reichbusters game. I'm one of the few people that do, I think. Um, to be honest. But the one thing that stood out for me is there is for each mission tells you all the miniatures you need and the quantities you need, and it's a lot, and it's a pain in the butt to set up because I got to grab all these things out. Right? I
Yeah.
don't mind having a lot of variety. Like I love having all these different types of monster types in there. Like me, that's definitely me. What I don't like is having to not knowing what could come out. So like if it was subset, cool. Like, let me grab these 20 minis as opposed to like grabbing all 6 boxes, not knowing which ones I'm going to need in the game. Because for me, I want to be prepared when I'm playing the game to just put them on the table real quick rather than hold on, let me go grab stuff, let me pull stuff out. I hate that at all costs. So that's me.
So
So that's my big
Cthulhu
concern here. Go ahead.
Cthulhu Death May Die does do what you're saying. Like at the
Yes.
beginning of the game, you pick a set of minis. So you do have to go find them, right? So if you got a lot of
Right.
expansions, but even with a lot of expansions, I don't think they add a lot of minis. It's like the boss that really changes. And
Hmm.
like the boss comes with a certain subset of minis, but that'll be with the boss. So
Yeah,
whether you
that's a good
bought
example.
as a boss example or whatever. But so that'll all
Hmm.
be in one box. So that's easy to do because I actually keep my bosses separate in a separate box. The minis themselves could be a little bit of a pain as you're getting more because they're about to release more Cthulhu Death May Die. I feel like I heard somewhere, like a season 2. So I do feel like at some point, like it could be too much and you'll have to find a lot of stuff.
But the thing is, you know before you start in the game what you're going to encounter. So that's not that
Yes.
bad. You just have to decide you're good to go. So that's a good way of doing it. And if this had some way of doing that, I would like that a lot more.
And actually, the more I think about it, whatever season you're playing, the monsters go with the scenario. So they will
Hmm.
be from that season. So you know exactly where to go to find those monsters. And then again, the boss, whatever boss you pick, those minions will be right next to the boss's miniature usually as well, or
Sure.
come in a box
Sure.
separately with them. So yeah, Cthulhu Death May Die, they did a good job of being able to modular it out. Here,
Agreed.
I would say I would probably just play with one expansion at a time as long as there's enough minions to make it interesting, or maybe one expansion and the core set, right? So now you're just looking at the core box and you'll probably know all of those. By the time you need an expansion, hopefully you've played through the core box enough to know which enemies come from the core box. You know what I mean? And then you just
Hmm.
add in one expansion at a time, and I don't like only play with one at a time. And I think that'll be
Hmm.
enough variety. Um, or maybe you say, let's play with these 2 expansions and not the core monsters or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, keep going. Do you have any other like thoughts on the game itself or?
Let's see. Those were the. I did like the wandering mobs. Those are cool, and how they had more thematic flair to them than
Yep.
the normal mobs. I love leveling up. That was cool. I talked about loot. I love the loot was awesome. Big fan. Big fan of the loot.
Yeah.
And a lot of variety of that. I'm a type of person who doesn't mind if I put in the time and the effort to feel super powerful. I know some people don't like that, but hey, if I did in the game and I'm powerful, I want to reap the benefits of that. So I like that part of it here. Yeah, those are probably my first impressions of it.
Yeah. So my impressions are pretty positive. I like fighting. I like what you're doing. I even like watching other people fight. Some people
Mhm.
don't like the black enemy dice. I think somebody else said that, or was that you earlier? Or was it somebody in the
No, I'm okay
comments?
with it. I'm okay with it.
I don't
It's
mind
fine.
it. Now, Mike's first experience with it was, and we're playing 3 players, so remember we're each rolling 3 black dice. Now, we didn't
Hmm.
see very many hits on those black dice, right? But
Hmm.
they do, a third of the sides do have hits on them. So if you're rolling 3, on average, you're going to take 1 wound. Well, Mike's first attack of the game with a character with 4 health, he was he the ranger? No, he was the thief, the rogue or whatever. He had 4 health. He goes into a room with a mob, rolls 3 black dice plus his attack, their defense, and the shadow dice. They blocked 100% of his damage, so he did nothing. I don't even think he got
Hmm.
mana back, like literally 0. And they rolled
Mm.
3 hits on him. So he
Hmm.
literally went from 4 health down to 1 and did no damage. And he was just out at that point. He was out. Like we played for another hour and a half or whatever, but he literally just complained the whole time about. And look, he never died. He ended up healing himself using his healing potion. He ended up killing that mob because he rolled his
Yep,
special twice, which gave him an extra action. Was the rogue special? It was
that's
ridiculous.
cool.
And he flipped over a token. Every token for him is an action, and his tokens
Hmm.
like give him +1 attack or use a red die in addition to your normal, like whatever. They're really good bonuses to the attack. Yeah, so he ended up killing the entire mob, not dying, and I think either being fully healthy or he never died. I died. I was the berserker when we played. I died once, but the nice part is once you die, you get a free reroll on a black die
Mm.
from then on. And if you're playing 5 or 6 player, they also that basic armor flips over, and on the other side it gives you a free black die reroll.
Hmm.
So even though you're rolling 5 or 6 black die, right, which could end up, I mean, you could literally die turn 1 as a 4 health character attacking a mob with 5 or 6 die. Now, hopefully that means you're smart enough to have your 7 or 8 health, because I think the paladin takes hits like a champ, right? They're more of a tank even than the berserker. So hopefully you are able to attack with one of those characters first, take some of those wounds away, take some of those extra attacks away, and then go in. But I could see that being frustrating.
I can too. Yes, I think you were just hitting the comment I was going to suggest. Like, it might be more the fact of not knowing that could happen going into it, right? If you were to teach the game, be like, hey, by the way, we're playing a high player count, this could hit really hard, and like explain that to people, make sure they don't run into a situation where they basically run in and die. That would be very important. But also with this comment, like it feels like the higher player count would be more swingy in that sense.
Yeah,
like because you can have a lot more damage coming back to you. For this, I felt fine. I felt
2 players
even at my low health.
Yeah, 2 players that worked fine. I will say that the odds of what he rolled yesterday, it was 1 in 27 to roll the 3 hits. And then to do 0 damage and get 0 mana back at the same time was like That's another true. Ridiculously bad odds of happening. But it did happen, right? I mean, I don't want to discount his experience. That was his experience. Right. But then he got super lucky and rolled back-to-back faces, right? Which got him back-to-back extra actions. So he ended up doing 5 actions and killing literally the entire mob. So it ended up like, see, for me, I would have felt the low than the high. He never got out of the low, literally the rest of the time. He almost thought it was more dumb that he could, like, you know what I mean, do so much. He almost felt like he was doing something wrong. So
the other thing about this is you don't lose the game if you die.
Correct. Right? And in fact, you become more survivable because everybody gets that free reroll on the black dice from then on.
Right. It's definitely bad. You want to avoid it, but it's not the end of the world. So I don't know. It seems fine. I don't know.
Yeah, and we had 2 of those tokens in a 3-player game also. So 2 of us could have died. So only when the third time somebody died was it end game for us. I mean, so for me, I like how straightforward it is. I like games like this. I like how fast you level. I like that. Those are huge pros for me. I have fun when I'm playing it. I like rolling handfuls of dice. Now, yes, I'm not doing physically. I would much prefer to do it with a physical version, obviously, but I love, even though most of them are enemy dice, I still love rolling them and just seeing the highs and the lows and the swings of whatever comes out. I don't mind the variance on the dice, you know, going from 0 to 3 hits or whatever, because it feels cool to have those big, super awesome rounds, and it feels, you know, bad to have bad rounds, but like, I feel like it all balances out in the end for the most part, but I also feel like it's cool to feel the swings. You know, I don't always want to hit for 3. You know, that's just boring. I like the swinginess of the dice to some degree. And like you said, it's not like if you die once, you're out of the game.
Right.
So I do think this first mission is a little easy. Because of what we were talking about, which is, or what you alluded to, which is you go from 0 powerful at the beginning of the mission to super, like once you get a second weapon and you're dual wielding, like, I mean, that 1 extra dice is such a big thing.
It is.
Even more than leveling, I feel like, to some degree, although getting a free orange dice is pretty dang good too. But it's not free. Like you had to level up to it and forego other things, and you have to spend your rage or whatever. So it's not free, but it's still pretty stinking good to get an extra orange dice to every attack. It is very loot dependent, right? That staff you got at the end with an orange and a yellow dice that you would have been able to dual wield. If you could add 2 of those, that'd be freaking amazing, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, it is very loot dependent. It is a little bit luck dependent, which is hallmarks of Zombicide, I feel like, more than most other games. But I didn't feel like any of the weapons were as broken as in Zombicide. I always felt like you got something pretty good that you're going to be able to work with. Where Zombicide, some weapons were just like ridiculous. They'd mow down like 20 enemies in a turn. I like the experience sharing. So again, it seems like an evolved version of Zombicide in a lot of the areas we're talking about. But I also like the mob dynamics and the looting dynamics. So I don't know. I like this game for the most part. It's not going to be what somebody said earlier, the number one dungeon crawl of all time, right? Yep. Especially with the new ones coming out. Tales from Red Dragon Inn. That game is so good. We have a production copy now. That game is so good. It was so good before, and Mike said it's even better now. So that'll probably be one of our next reviews. So that's the Battle for Greyport dungeon crawl. That one is so good. If you haven't played that yet, Steve, we're gonna have to bring it to Gen Con. You'll have to try that.
I have played the preview back in the day, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a simple.
I enjoyed it. It's very clean.
Very clean.
Yeah.
Very simple. They had the cooldown system, if you remember, where you could spend actions to like cool down your items, or you just wait for them to cool down on their own, or your skills or whatever. But you were doing cool stuff with those. Like all the skills were super cool.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, so I mean that one's probably going to be better for me. Tidal Blades 2, as long as they don't screw up the scenario design, which it didn't seem like they were going to. That has one of the best, if not the best, action systems I've seen anywhere. Like your actions, what you get to do, how you decide that by drawing cards and putting them in columns and rows, and like activating a column or row. Like that was super fun to do. Like I don't know that I've had that much fun making my decisions for what I do in any other game. Oathsworn isn't really a dungeon crawl. It's more of a boss battler. So they're cousins, I guess. But that one I enjoy more than this. But there aren't many more that I enjoy more than this as far as dungeon
Have you played Valor and Villainy?
So Mike said that. And I played back in the day in the preview copy. And I remember you loved it. And I remember Mike loved it. And I remember Jerry even liked it. I was the odd man out on that one for some reason. And it might be that we designed a very similar game and it never came out, right? And I wasn't as big a fan of that game either, to be honest. That's part of the reason it never came out. Like Mike and Jerry liked it way more than I did. They did a lot of similar things in that, to the point where I'm like, well, we're never releasing this game at this point, because Valor and Villainy, even though we did a lot of things different, did so many things similar to what we were doing. It's like, all right, well, it's not worth releasing our game at this point. So it might have been a little sour grapes there. So I will have to play it again. I did not like it as much as everybody else, but Mike loves it, right? So, and he has it. So it's something I will have to play, and we'll review on the podcast as well.
Yeah, I just got done playing through the campaign and everything. I have a review coming out soon for that. But while we're playing this game, it reminded me a lot of that one.
Okay.
Because in that game, you're leveling up a lot as well, constantly. Shared XP. Actually, that one is straight shared XP. There's no, like, you get one more than me. I liked how this was mostly shared, which is really cool, but that one is straight shared.
Yeah.
And then the loot is also straight shared as well.
Okay.
Which is very cool. And a lot of loot and a lot of enemies like that. I like that one better than this, to be honest.
Okay.
A lot of things I like better than this one. Not saying I dislike my play of this, but for me, that was the better dungeon crawl type experience.
Well, and Mike liked the exploration there, where you're flipping over tiles as you move through.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
He liked a lot of stuff.
Also, the dice are a lot less swingy, too, in Val and Villainy. Because it's basically, you know, it's either a 1 or 2 on the highest level dice. So you can calculate what those odds are very, very easily.
Well, and he said even if you kind of whiff on killing him, you flip the enemies over. And that was part of our system as well. Like, so you're gonna at least wound them, probably, if not kill them, the enemies. Most of the time when you're attacking.
So yeah, I'm mentioning that one because if people like this type of game, that is one I would definitely check out. It has a lot of similarities to this one, but plays definitely differently as well.
One, it wasn't.
I like that one better than this, but this was fun.
50,000 expansions, right?
Yeah, there's only 2 standalone sets. The Ludwig Labyrinth was the co-op one,
Yep.
And then there's another one that was competitive that became co-op after Ludwig came out.
Okay, so get the Ludwig one.
Get the Ludwig.
That one
Yeah.
was clearly designed from the ground up to be cooperative. The other one might be good, but get the Ludwig one first. I'm assuming that one's better for co-op.
It's better, but the other one does work for co-op too. They have a small expansion to make it work. So
Okay.
But yeah, I don't want to talk about that game. I just want to make a comparison because these two games seems like they're trying to fill the same space.
Got it.
Because in both of them, you're starting from a weak character and you're leveling up in a lot of different ways, however you want to do it. And that's really fun. Lots of fun loot, lots of fun mobs to take out. Good times. I like those types of games. I prefer this type of game versus the long campaign games, in my opinion.
Like Gloomhaven, Sword and Sorcery.
Yeah. Right.
And we said we'd come back to that, or did we say we were going to come back to our review at the end?
Yeah. The question was, well, they were asking, is Sword and Sorcery the most complicated dungeon crawler of all time? I would say yes, honestly, because it has everything in the kitchen sink in it at this point. Heck, the next content coming out next week on Kickstarter, they're adding sailing in the game. So
why not?
If you're getting to that point, you've got a lot in your game already. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like buying Frosthaven. Like if you've played that much Gloomhaven, you may as well buy Frosthaven. You're going to get your money's worth, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're just so burnt out you never want to play it again. Same with Sword and Sorcery Expansion 50. But I don't mind it if it trickles out. You know, I just mind it when you get 50 expansions when the game first comes out. Because I think this game literally had one Kickstarter and all those expansion boxes, probably 10, 11 expansions at one time when the game first releases. That bothers me. Because you know it's not all play tested. There's 0% chance that can all be play tested. They're like, yeah, that's probably good enough.
The question for this one was, some people think it's one of the best dungeon crawls ever made, which is Massive Darkness. Do we both agree? And I think we already covered that. No. Both seem to enjoy this one, but also seem to say that no, that one. Not the best.
Vassal in the Dice Tower crew really like it. Vassal specifically said it's his number one. I would say Vassal probably has, because Dice Tower focuses on currently available games. I bet they haven't played the Red Dragon Inn Dungeon Crawl. I bet they like that one a lot. That might surpass it.
I can see that doing well for them for sure.
They probably haven't played Tidal Blades 2, the Dungeon Crawl either. I mean, we haven't either. We played one scenario of it, but
that was a good game. I like that one. I agree with you. That puzzle's good, really fun.
If it is anywhere, like again, the game, what you do on your turn is certainly going to be fun. The question is, do they make those missions fun, consistent and fun? And the big thing that bothers me in Dungeon Crawls too is when it's hard to figure out. Like if you're playing it right. So as long as they don't make those mistakes, I think Tidal Blades 2, and I know they didn't do it for Red Dragon Inn because, like I said, Mike loves it. He's playing it with his small kids. Like, I mean, that one he is enamored with. And there's still Oathsworn, which I love, and I've played not since I reviewed it, which is sad. So,
do you have another question from Zimbo? This is, what do you all think of Deliverance?
I don't know that one.
It is awesome. I played that game. I played it a lot, actually. The early preview of it. It is angels. You're playing as angels, fighting demons and stuff. It is a lot of fun with leveling up and choosing powers and stuff like that. After playing that one, I actually went out and immediately backed it. I ultimately did not get the product. I still donated money to the design team because I thought the design was really good. And I ultimately didn't back it because...
Does that mean you backed out of backing it?
Well, I just sent them like, "Hey, here's some money. I'm not getting a pledge level." Is what it came down to.
Gotcha.
And I did that because I was reallocating the funds to something else. There's something else I wanted more in my collection. But I do think Deliverance is a great game and definitely worth playing.
So, what kind of game is it? I don't know anything about it.
It is. It feels a little similar to this, in the sense that you have very asymmetric angels, and as you level up, you can choose different power paths as you go through it. There is a economy you have to manage, where each action will either gain you power or force you to spend power. So I might have to do a couple of weak attacks or weak movements or some action. But in our course of doing that, I'll gain this power, and then later on, I could do a big attack that spends that power back and forth. So you're trying to balance out your action economy with what you actually want to do to defeat the bad guys and win the game, basically. And leveling up again, loot too. It's really fun. I think you'd enjoy it, Peter. And I can brush up on the rules and we can play it sometime if you want.
So, did you preview it here on this channel?
No, that was before we did the channel, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I have it. Colin did back it, though. It's been a long time coming. It was a long time ago, so... But I think it's delivering
now
soon, maybe this year.
So maybe we get it. I mean, you never know. Mike gets a lot of stuff. So...
It's really good.
It is possible that we get it and we do cover it here later on.
I mean, Colin's got it, so he can cover it. So
there will be a playthrough on the main channel then. Although I'm shocked he likes this game a lot and he hasn't done this one yet on the main channel.
Just too many games.
There are too many games. But I mean, it's easy to film something you like, right? Like,
true.
You already know the rules. Like,
true.
So I'm surprised, but I think it's maybe because he said he plays with some house rules. Because of the God mode that you become in the game, he does stuff to make it harder, I believe, later in the game. Maybe he adds a minion per mob later in the game or gives them extra life or something like that.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so there are ways to scale it. I don't know if there are ways in the rule. Like, I didn't see any ways in the rule book, but there are certainly ways to scale the game to make it harder. Definitely. Cool. But I think it's we like this, but is it the number one dungeon crawler? Not for either of us. Nope. And certainly not for Mike, who actively disliked the game. But Colin is the most positive of all of us, I feel like, on the game.
So Zimbo has one more question for us. He says, what is your favorite dungeon crawler for each of us? So you go first, Peter.
Dungeon crawler, it's hard because I like boss battlers more than dungeon crawlers. Probably Oathsworn at this point. Tales from Red Dragon Inn might be it, though. Like, honestly, and that one's out now, or at least almost out. Like, I really, really liked that game because it was so simple, so clean. You felt powerful. You leveled up. The decisions you made were interesting. That one was really good. So if we're talking future or soon to be, that it'll probably be that. Boss battlers, like I said, are higher. Oathsworn, Adventure Tactics, I really like. Those two kind of stick out in the genre. Oh, maybe if you consider Cthulhu Death May Die a dungeon crawl, that's probably my top one that is out now.
Sure.
If you call it a dungeon crawl. I like Cthulhu Death May Die a lot.
That's a good one.
And I would play that before this, right? Gloomhaven's fine. I don't want to play 100 scenarios, and I don't like how slow you level. For me, it's too much of a grind. Some people love that. Some people want a lifestyle game. We can't fit that in, right?
Yeah.
And it was just fine. Like, I was enamored with it at first, so much so that Mike, Jerry, and I all bought copies after Jerry had his, and then I never played it again, right? Like, I played it like 3 times my copy. I even bought like an $80 insert for it. So like I got like a $200 box of Gloomhaven literally sitting right up here on the shelf that I probably will never play. I like Jaws of the Lion better. If you're going to do a Gloomhaven system game, that was my favorite. I played Frosthaven a little bit, but not much. So of those games, probably Cthulhu Death May Die. And then mostly boss battlers. And again, keep your eyes out for the new Battle for Greyport. Or Tales from the Red Dragon Inn.
Tales from Red Dragon Inn, yep.
Yeah, I mean, that game is fantastic. Like, and I haven't played the full version, but what I played of the, preview version we got was awesome. And Mike said it's even gotten better since then. So,
good.
I mean, I can almost guarantee that's going to be my number one.
So I'll answer my question in a second, but because you mentioned that, there's another question from Donald. He said, is Tales from Red Dragon Inn similar to all of the other Red Dragon Inn games, or is this a new thing? It is completely different. It is only the same theme.
Yes.
So there's Red Dragon Inn, I think is the name of it, right? And that's just a party drinking game. It's
Well, no, you don't party and drink, but your characters are partying, drinking, and gambling.
there you go.
uh,
It's
it's a very much take that game. It is very
it
much
is.
in
It's not my style game.
the
It's
vein of Munchkin.
okay at best.
And the fact that
Yeah,
they kept calling everything Red Dragon Inn is why I think their other games haven't succeeded as much.
I think
Because
so.
they had Battle for Greyport, which was a great game. A great game.
That is a very good deck
Deck
builder.
builder.
Although it's a very good game, I don't think it's a great deck builder.
Right. The deck
It's
building is
it's a
not
very
that
good game with deck
interesting.
building in it. You put it that way.
It's a very good cooperative experience. Like the cooperation
Yes.
in that game is so fun. The deck building
Yes.
is ho hum at best. I agree with that.
Agree completely. Yes.
But the cooperation and what you're doing beside the
Mhm.
building, I mean, you still need to build your deck to do all the cool stuff. So it's not
Right.
that bad, but like, yeah, I mean, the decisions with deck building aren't that interesting. Usually you get the thing that you need most that costs the most money, right?
Agreed.
Because of how their economy works. But I think that game didn't do well, even though I love it and think it's great, because it had the Red Dragon name attached to it. So it did two
I
things.
think so. Yeah, I think so.
It
Because
did
I think
two,
I even dismissed it because I thought it was just the same, more of the same, but it's not. It's very different.
and we
So
learned about
that
that one in
leads
the
into
Discord, right?
right
I think people in the Discord push that big time, and so
for
we tried
sure.
it.
So yeah, Tales from Red Dragon Inn. We've all previewed it. Mike has a copy. It's a dungeon crawl, very clean, very. I'll say the word simple, but I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean that in a
Yes.
positive sense. It's a very simple game in the best of ways, and
I'm
it's a
sure
lot of
we
fun.
have videos of that. I'm going to look it up while you
We
keep
do.
talking.
Because I have a stream of it because I remember streaming with the publishers, and then I think we have a preview copy on the main channel too. I think I'll double check. We've got a couple of videos of it, but yeah. So yeah, that's very very good. Now to answer the question, we can jump back to it. Favorite dungeon crawl. So I feel like I'm maybe one of the few people that I like dungeon crawls, but I don't like him as much as a lot of other people. I feel like. I tend to be more the adventure style gamer. So I prefer those type of games. Now, that said, for dungeon crawlers, if I want to go for a massive campaign, my game of choice is Sword and Sorcery. I like it because I don't have to relearn a different dungeon crawl to get different pieces of what I want. It's got everything in it. It's got pets you can have. It's got interesting combat because each enemy is going to come out differently each time. So it's a new puzzle to solve. AI is excellent. That's a big reason I play it. And the dice usage is interesting too because it's a combination of guaranteed hits plus a random modifier with dice. You can do a lot with that as well. So,
by the way, Mike's video for Tales from the Red Dragon Inn literally came out yesterday. So Thursday,
oh, there you go.
On the main channel. So yeah, check it out. Like that game is so good.
Definitely. Yeah, so that's that one. I lately have been preferring the games that you level up in one sitting. So like this style I like, but like I said before, Val and Villainy, that is another one I go to. I love that game. It's so much fun. It hits a lot of the design elements I like to see in games with easy management. And it's just a fun game, really fun game. I will throw out another one that is non-standard because I've had this discussion lately. And it's hard to describe because it's not something I would normally consider a dungeon crawl. But after talking to some other people, it seems like it has the elements of it. And that is Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh, yeah.
It is just a super fun game.
Yep.
Every time I play it, I have a blast. And it doesn't take too long. I feel like when the design team worked on that one, anytime they said, we got option A or option B, which one's more fun? Okay, we'll go with that option. And I feel like every time they did that, they just chose a more fun option, and that just built a really, really awesome package. But it is not a dungeon crawl because you got guns, it's space, sci-fi type theme. You're not gaining loot. You do gain upgrades and weapons and stuff like that, but it's not the main focus of it. You're gaining loot as in you're gaining minerals because you're miners.
Right.
But yeah, that's really, really
I played
fun.
that one too. That was fun. Yes. I played it wrong, apparently. You told me that. But I definitely had a lot of fun with it. By the way, Donald
Yeah.
Hoof said Mike's playthrough looks super cool. I assume it's coming to Kickstarter soon. No, it is done. Its Kickstarter. It is delivering now.
That's
So
correct.
this is not a preview. This is actually a review he did and playthrough of the actual game, which I am going to be playing with him this Saturday, I believe.
Woo! Nice.
So maybe even Friday night this week. So by the way, no stream tomorrow night because I will be. Jason is coming down to visit. So we're going to get together at Mike's house tomorrow night. And then my daughter has a swim meet on Saturday morning. And then as soon as she's done, we're getting together for more games on Saturday.
Sweet.
So I am sure Tales from Red Dragon Inn will be one of them as long as Jason wants to play it.
Cool. I think that's all the questions and everything. So, but Peter, thanks so much for taking the time to set this up and teach me the game.
Yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, that's the one thing. Like, as you saw, we spent a lot of time talking at the beginning, but it's not that hard a game. It's not that complicated.
No. Yeah.
So you'll pick it up pretty quickly, and you may have a couple rules questions, but they're pretty easy to find, or just ask somebody and they'll be able to help you.
Definitely.
Cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.